Testing, 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 testing. I'm live streaming now. Testing, 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 testing. Oh, there's a viewer. Great. Okay, let's move away from that screen. Don't want anyone seeing that. I hope if someone's there, they'll talk. Oh, Edens, you're the first one. Cool. Hey, Edens. Edens, you know it's always weird. You show up first on my You don't show up on YouTube first. Hey, Scale. How you doing, Scale? You don't show up on my YouTube stuff, Edens. You show up on my screen itself first. But hey, Edens, how are you doing? And yeah, Scale, I already asked how you're doing. In terms of what is up, no, not that much. I'm rested, more or less. I'm more or less rested. Edens, how are you? I hope you had a good New Year. And I'm good. How are you? Oh, that's great, Scale. Yeah, I'm pretty much all right. It's just rested. My eyes have been getting worse over the last few days, so well, unfortunately, I didn't get to rest them either. I had too much stuff to do on the computer, so my eyes are just a little bit bad recently. But otherwise, I'm in good health. COVID is still raging, but I don't have it, so that's good. Let me think. Yeah, no, I think I'm excited for this next year. I've New Year resolutioned myself to make more YouTube videos, come back to YouTube proper and make more of it. It'll be a little bit hard now that writing novels seems to be viable, and especially with the other one. But I hope it's going to be a good year. I'm good increasing my light and doing a theory video. Oh, that's great. That's great, Edens. I'm not gonna ask. Yeah, well, you know what, Edens. Whenever you're done with it, let me know and I'll watch it. Or unless you want to talk about it on stream, yeah. Whatever. I'm all down. And Scale, Aziz, and like that whole that guy and that whole legacy, man. Like I spent time and I just caught up with it on YouTube, and it's like now it's like, yeah, shit. You know, I'm really happy that Scale brought this into my life. Like, holy crap, yeah, we're gonna make it through, bruh. Okay, I was working on Spiral Abyss Floor 9. And Scully's holidays are still happening. That's great, Skull. Yeah, no, I think my next little bit here, it's going to be like, I don't know, my next little bit is like, I haven't seen my family in a while. I'm hoping to travel back to the Caribbean for a bit. So I'm hoping that in this next little bit, the vaccine will become more viable and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of looking at this next upcoming year. I have siblings, and for one of them, let's see, about May or June is going to be relatively important for that sibling. So I would love to be back on the Caribbean during that time period. But it all kind of depends on whether or not we'll be able to travel, because like I think it's a little bit dangerous for me to go on a plane right now if COVID spreads as easily as it does. Because I think I might have preconditions that I have already a lot of the bad conditions with my lungs and all that, so it's just a little bit concerning. But that's what I'm looking forward to right now in terms of my next year. We're all gonna make it, brah. Yeah, I just done a video on the Scabbards and Orochi after 1000. I don't think either has done this arc. I agree with you, Edens. But yeah, life when you're an adult is well, not life when you're an adult. Life when you're a little bit older and have a little bit more complications going on is always a challenge. And by the way, this is directed at Scales, but hey, White Despair, directed at Scale, but my 25-year-old debuff, I had my lungs since I was a child. I was a really bad, like my lungs were always under attack when I was a child. Okay, so we're gonna do a challenge. I'm just reading more of your guys' comments. White Despair, did you have a good holiday? Let's see. So, Edens, I want to say a video on the Scabbards. Like, I definitely don't think I didn't really think this from the get-go, but I don't think the scabbards were ever supposed to be the samurai. I really do think it's the pirates, right? Especially when you have Odin's talking about his diary and that kind of shit. I really think it's the pirates. My only question, and I didn't talk about this in the video because it only occurred to me after I uploaded it, but in terms of who the 9 scabbards could actually be, if it's not just the samurai, I'm thinking, you know, like the 5 that we have up there would be fine. And I think you pointed this out one time, Edens, that we have a bunch of supernova. I'm pretty sure it was you, Edens, that pointed this out, because you like this makes sense that you would have done it. But you had Drake, you have Hawkins, you have Apu. Like, if all the supernova that are there right now betray Kaido and Yamato joins in, that's 9 people. Now, I would love to see some Straw Hats in the 9 scabbards aside from Luffy and Zoro. But with Jinbei, Sanji, and Frankie out of commission, well, because they're going to be occupied with fights, it's like, well, really, could they really be the 9 scabbards? Oh, Skelly, yeah, man. Oh, hey, Ryan. Hey, Zuar. Popcorn Girl, hello. I did have a good health. Thanks for asking. How was yours? Yeah, quite despair. Restful, right? That's what I deal in nowadays. Hey, Sarge. Sarge, any cool ideas this week? I'm just curious on the Rain 4. But yeah, no, that's the ones that I would throw in there. Those 4 would be my picks. And then Orochi. Orochi's probably alive because of the Yamata no Orochi lore. He's probably fine. And his advisor left, so I'm thinking like Orochi's probably fine. Oh, hey, Monica. Sorry, I was just reading Dark Revenant. I don't recognize that name. That must be a new person. Let's see. So, Dark Revenant. Yeah. Yeah. My grandparents live on the island. That's why it's another thing. Like, I think I could survive it if I, you know, with enough proper care. But I don't know if my grandparents could. And I would be living with them if I went back to the Caribbean for a while. That's why it's gotta be careful. L said, literally just want to say I love when you roast and make fun of it. It's hilarious. Oh, thanks, L. I really enjoy it too. I really enjoy making fun of Dobby. It's hilarious. Like, Dobby's eventually gonna like fall out of the spotlight, and then I'm gonna have to find someone new to make fun of. I don't know if there will ever be anyone that's more worthy than Dobby though, because he's kind of just like, he roasts himself. Monica, how are you doing? Can't get enough of that Dobby humiliation. Nah, man, but I'm excited. I do want to see more of what Horikoshi wants to do with... Well, I want to see how... I do want to see more nuanced response. I'm actually really excited with the current nuanced response we're seeing from society in Hero Academia. It just makes me feel... It makes me feel confident, you know? I'm hoping for some more nuance. And I would actually really think it would be cool if there actually is a generational divide between the young population and the older population, because that'd mirror how it works for well, you know, like regular society. There usually is that kind of divide when we're looking at demographics and all that kind of stuff. Oh, other things that I did during my oh Jesus, other things I did during the little break there. I was doing a lot of research on, you know, what people who try to self-publish say works for books and all that kind of stuff. And it's usually pretty funny. Black Fox isn't here, I think. So Black Fox would be one of the people that would really take away more from this. But it's just funny how, like, if you go on Reddit and you're looking for advice on, let's say you wanted to make stuff that is inspired by light novels or anime, right? If you're listening to advice on Reddit, most of the time it's going to be saying like, nah, man, this ain't going to work, or something like that. And it's like, yo, man, you have no idea. You say this doesn't work, but you have no idea what people are willing to pay. And what that's just to say is that for anyone that's going to be like doing their own little, like, this is true for I think any artistic pursuit, but you gotta be really careful at some point, because there's this is something I've said before, but there's a difference between something that sells and something that's good. And if you get caught up in what people tell you is good, you might lose the opportunity to sell. And it's just always interesting. It's interesting because people always go and have so much questions and they ask for so much advice. And I don't know, like, especially now, I feel a little bit more grateful with my current position and all that, just because it feels kind of alright to see people struggling so much and getting this kind of advice when meanwhile you're doing relatively well contrary to the advice that they're giving you, kind of thing. It just kind of reminds you that there's multiple pathways to success, and you shouldn't be caught on one. And it also reminds you that you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to asking for advice, because most people only have one particular way of seeing things. And again, most people aren't willing to bend towards market trends. That's another part there. People aren't willing to bend towards market trends. Okay, this is usually when I beat the fight, so we're gonna get through here. I'm not really paying it. I'm able to talk through this one because this is just an easy part for this part of the Spiral Abyss. So we'll break through here in a quick second. We have, oh, you know what? I am taking a little bit longer here. This one's not my best. Not my best. Xiangling needs to be healed. Put out this girl. So Xiangling is healing right now because of Noelle. Noelle's not... She's still C0. I have never gotten a new Noelle. So she can only hit every like 50% of the time. Or she only gets healed 50% of the time. Not great for this attempt. I usually finish around... I usually finish at the 7-minute mark, so this is a little bit unfortunate. This is probably going to come back to haunt me here. But the good thing is that this is the last ones we need, so I'll probably just put Lisa out there. We're going to have to come back here though. And I'll read your guys' comments as soon as I'm done here. But here we go. Let's just finish this up. That's one. Go here, go here. Just get a little bit of healing in before we move on. So this is gonna be a little bit tough because my other team is not really. They're not DPS or anything like that. They're not a team focused on DPS. I've got an Emerald Traveler on that one. He's my main form of damage, and I think I'm not happy with this current configuration. So this is about to get very difficult. Alright, cool. So let me read your guys' comments before we move on. And Random Trainer, I just saw yours. There's already a Yandere in 2021. Random Trainer, are you talking about the one in Last Dungeon Boonies? Because I just made a video about it. I'm going to upload it right after this thing's over. It's rendered and everything like that. And I'm already like, I don't like Yanderes in comedies. But let me know if that's the one that you're thinking of. Oh wait, there's a new opening? Oh, I'm gonna go see it. Okay, let's see. This is my final form. Okay, so I just keep reading the chapter and it irks me a lot. I feel the need I feel I need the next chapter to really get a feel for this moment in the end of the war. Wait, Sarge, could you wait, let me see if you wrote more. So sorry, I'm still behind on your guys' comments, but I just keep reading the chapter and it irks me. Can you elaborate on that? I'm interested. Can you elaborate? Like, what exactly are you feeling? I'm good. Was going to tell you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, but this time I got the courage to send something. Basically, wasn't the right time anymore. Oh, whatever, Monica. Whatever. You know what? Intentions matter. Thanks for intending that. That's cool. Thanks. I appreciate you. I haven't done the stuff for my computer yet. Like for the other mobile games, that might take a little bit longer just because it's just hard. My computers can't really handle all that much. Like my streaming setup definitely can't handle that. I gotta get a little bit clever. But hey, Monica, I really hope you're having a good New Year. Anyway, Animamus, hello, Animamus. Monica, how is your significant other? But Animamus, there wasn't an episode of Digimon, right? But last episode I saw was the War Greymon episode. Black Clover 158 was hype. I do want to kind of see the Black Clover opening, but maybe I'll do that later because we don't have time to waste. The last stream made me curious about the Elena Light Novel, so I went and got the first volume. That's one of the ones I was talking about. Oh, okay, cool. I'm kind of curious about Elena as well, but like for the next little bit of the channel, what I'm planning on doing, I have a script made for differences comparison for Danmachi episode 1. I'm hoping to do all 13 or 12 episodes for Danmachi. Release them on Patreon early and then release them like one after the other on YouTube when they're all done, so that I don't you know, stop the series halfway through. And then I got the script for part of the review for Danmachi. And I got some Danmachi videos for people who are asking questions about Danmachi. So I got three videos in the pipeline. I want to do, so the reason I'm talking about this is because I want to read the light novels for Mahoka, because Mahoka was such a situation with its current season. Like, I gave one of the episodes a quick glance on the wiki, and I saw that they did make drastic changes in terms of what they were presenting in the episode. So I am legitimately curious about what's going on in the Mahoka volumes as opposed to the anime. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for the next little bit, alongside of like maybe like ship research. I should do like shipping videos for Black Clover, but it's just Black Clover has so much material that I haven't gone around to it. Let's see, new Black Clover episode was grand. Kimetsu no Yaiba sells, but it's not good. You know, Death Ray, the thing is that Kimetsu got a little bit worse towards the end. Like, if you look at the final arc of Kimetsu, it's not a good final arc. It's an arc that's been rushed. Like, if you were to ask me, like, is the final arc good? I can't tell you yes, because by every metric that I would usually rate a series, that arc is shoddy at best. Shoddy in composition, not shoddy in the emotional feelings, because, like, you know, like, invoking emotion, like the Kimetsu no Yaiba author can essentially do it, but definitely in how it was put together, not good. Usually, when you have a succession of characters getting their backstories during the same fight, that's rush. That's not fun. There's a distinct difference in the quality compared to characters that have it come out naturally, right? Really hope you had a good time as best you can. Hoping 2021 will be a much better year. Me too. Got a 5-star family side. Oh, Gohan, that's great. The beginning, well, not, you know, sad that it's not the one you wanted, but yeah. Let's see. Weird question. How do I fix a messed up sleep schedule? Also, what are we even talking? Well, messed up sleep schedule. You just gotta when I need to fix a messed up sleep schedule from traveling and get jet lagged, right? I just stay awake one full day, then I go to sleep at the right time for the next day. Maybe don't do that. Still reading Death Mage. So with the next My Hero being the worst is not over, what do you think we'll be getting with any more somewhat important deaths soon? I figure Gran Torino will still die, just waiting on it. I still like the idea of Gran Torino outliving All Might, because I think that'd just be really sad. And I think it'd be sad in a different level, right? I'm still in for it. In terms of the worst is not over with, that could just indicate that that All For One's gonna like break out of the prison. And what happens if he breaks out of the prison? No, it's just gonna be a little bit more of a tragedy. Maybe he, after breaks out of the prison, he attacks UA. UA is a place where there are many quirks. Maybe we are gonna go right into Attack of UA immediately after here. Although that would be a little bit aggressive. But in terms of the worst is not over yet, what I'm thinking is just flat out, if All For One comes out of prison, that's a pretty bad endgame scenario, I think. New January anime lineup slowly coming in, gonna be good. Let's see. ReZero, I think Promised Neverland tomorrow. I agree. Doubtful as the death page seems to come from the narrator, as it features victims from both battlefields, and as such, presumably it's coming from future Izuku. I agree with White Despair about the death page. White Despair, me and you are on the same wavelength. That's a narrative page, no matter how you look at it. That's a page that exists outside of the current like timeline because of the way it's being told to us. I don't think we are getting deaths as a fallout from this. I'm not sure how we can get deaths from just attacking the prison, but if we're saying that there's going to be more deaths in the future of Hero Academia, well, All Might's still going to die. The narrative has pretty much blown All Might out of the water. The day that Izuku said that there was an All Might that hadn't fully formed within him, All Might's gonna die, because that All Might vestige needs to fully form, and it has to contrast against All For One's vestige, which was already fully formed even though the guy was alive. Narrative stylings are what doomed All Might, so like, yes, there has to be an event that's gonna provoke that. Well, I think what we have to really be wondering is, well, is Eri going to be a target? I think legitimately we have to ask that question, because from our perspectives, we know that this girl can heal critical injuries at this point. She was able to heal Mirio. If this girl can do that, this girl counters the quirk bullets in long-term fashion. Like short-term, you know, she's not going to be able to do anything about a quirk bullet. Like if a quirk bullet hits a person in the middle of a fight, they're screwed. But, you know, if they survive the fight, they can be recovered. So I have to wonder, you know, will All For One be smart enough, or will he have enough know-how to know to target Eri? That's what we really got to look at, because that's probably going to be one of the factors that leads into the UA attack, and then we still have to consider the traitor and all that kind of junk. Yeah, the traitor could even like open the doors for the villains figuratively. But yeah, in terms of the worst is not over with, yeah, it has to be something about that prison. It's just a question of whether or not we're going straight into UA after that. Hey Trip, have you seen the Volume X that reveal where Pony and Monoma were? No, I don't. I haven't. White Despair, can you spoil? Where were they? Soon those harems. I'm waiting for a premiere. Yes, that's what he helped her out, but she's doing the mo. Why are you watching Jujutsu Kai? Sorry if you already said you did. Oh, L. Feel free to ask questions whenever. In terms of if I'm watching Jujutsu Kai, I watched episode 13 the other day just to see what they were doing. I do want to do a full review for Jujutsu Kai, but because it's a series I follow manga wise, I don't watch them in the anime that aggressively. Maybe if I covered it more on the channel I would, but right now the plan is to watch Jujutsu Kai when it ends. Quizzer said it spoils so freaking much. I assume that's the Black Clover opening. That could just be the death count so far. We could probably see soon, even after this portion of the war is over. Technically, Dark Revenant, like if Cementos dies 2 weeks in the hospital later, I agree with that. But you know, Shonen doesn't typically do those kind of deaths unless they like really drum it up. We'll have to see. But for now, you know, as a reader that cares about the characters, I don't want anyone else to die. That's my bias. Have you read the Promised Neverland manga? Because I plan to be an anime. Yes, I've read all the manga. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Yeah, there wasn't a new episode of Digimon. Latest one was okay. Cool, gotcha. Wait, Monica said COVID scare recently, but we think he actually came down with the flu. Everyone has forgotten about the flu recently. I haven't forgotten about the flu. I keep looking at the flu numbers all the time. What do you mean about the light novels are irregular? Oh, Gohan. In terms of the light novel, I want to read the light novels because I want to understand to what degree the anime botched things. Because again, there were significant differences in terms of characters that were involved in the scenes. It was mostly side characters. Like I saw Hattori wasn't involved in one of the final scenes for the episodes. So that's the only reason. I want to read the light novels because I want to know properly what the anime did. We decided to watch Lucky Star, made it in Abyss movies. Cool. I don't like Kimetsu much at all. Fair. Kimetsu final arc has good moments like the fight with the second moon, but overall, yeah, like the fights overall were good, but like it's just how everything was strung together. Japan must like it because of their culture being ingrained with the series and the animation being good. I really only watched Kimetsu no Yaiba for Tanjiro. He's just so good. I mean, yeah, a lot of people feel that. Trip, I have a recommendation. Sakuna of Rise and Ruin. It's bloody amazing. I've never heard of that one. People always give me recommendations. What is this? Oh, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. Got it. Oh, it's a game. I think people did tell me about this when it came out in 2020. Okay, I'll look at it. It's a side scroller, huh? Gonna go to bed. Okay, good luck. Let's see. Hey, Miguel. Honestly, if it wasn't for Japan, Kimetsu wouldn't be nearly as popular outside. Japan isn't that big. Attack on UA, gotta get that. Yeah, true. We gotta get that reference in. I'm personally still putting my money on Gran Torino not dying here, basing this mostly on the fact that Todoroki finished administrating first aid to him. Yeah, well, I will. Whatever logic people have for why Gran Torino doesn't die, I'm gonna follow along with it. Tanjiro is one of the worst characters in anime, in my opinion. I don't think so. Nah. Not really. Maybe in terms of not being like super exciting, but I don't think he's the worst. I mean, there's a lot of bad anime. Hard to say he's the worst. Just depends on... It just depends on All for One's intentions. Thoughts? Wait, let's see. They're far worse than Tanjiro. Oh god. Oh wait, I'm close to the end. Let's see. I really like Tanjiro's character. If he does go after Eddie, big yikes. Good day to you. Oh, Aguhad, hello. And hello, El Otaku Facha. He's just sweet and I love his design. That's why I like him. Seeing him makes me happy. He is very sweet. I like the sweet factor. I'm not saying Tanjiro is the best, but I think his character is one of those that doesn't fall into the usual shonen protagonist in terms of motivation. Yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Like, critically, he's a little bit of an anti-hero classically. Like, he falls more closely to Izuku than he does Asta initially, but he's just an earnest character. That's the big thing. He's earnest. And that's maybe a factor that a lot of other Shonen Jump characters don't really get to have. There is another thing in that because Tanjiro and the Demon Slayers are almost always on the back foot, he doesn't have the opportunity to really scale upward. Like, if you really think about it, Tanjiro never really has an easy fight. Even when it comes to taking out lower moons, like, as we see, there is a very thick sense of mortality. When you have such a thick sense of mortality in the worlds, it makes a lot of things seem a lot more grounded, right? Like when you have even your pillars falling in battle because the enemy is just that hard. Like, death was a constant presence throughout Kimetsu, and when you have that situation, it's just kind of impossible to have characters like Asta and Ichigo who are so irreverent when it comes to death. Like, those characters, they're fighting to prevent death, with minimal death occurring because of their actions, whereas with the Tanjiro crew, it's like, shit, you know, like, if you do something stupid here, people are gonna die. Like, people are actually legitimately, some people are even ready to die. People are going to die here trying to take this guy down. You don't see that same level of conviction with the Asta crew or like the Ichigo crew, again, because it's very different when you look at the way characters treat death. Because in Bleach, characters are more likely to be stupid, and that happens because ultimately the fear of death isn't as palpable as it was in Kimetsu no Yaiba. Now, mind you, people die in Bleach sometimes, but too many times the characters are allowed to make stupid choices, and you don't get that same kind of thing with Kimetsu, because stupid choices are punished with death, unfortunately. But yeah, that's why I would say like Tanjiro comes out different. It's just because when you, like, he's built to be a little bit more of an earnest, emotional character. Out of curiosity, how do people think the traitor reveal will occur? Do we think they'll reveal themselves in an act of betrayal, or will they get caught in the act? Honestly, I imagine it as like one day like Nedzu is thinking about the traitor, and then we have like a completely different panel where the traitor reveals themselves to the viewers so that we know they're the traitor first. Otherwise, we could have things where the traitor confesses to being a traitor and apologizes because things got too real. I'm not sure if they're going to be caught in the act, because Nedzu, if he wanted to catch them in the act, he really should have been more proactive, but he hasn't been. Well, like the author doesn't show it to us. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it's going to be surprising. Do you think the traitor could be Deku, considering how One for All is linked to All for One? Is there... yeah, no, actually, yes. I haven't made the video for it yet, but Izuku's one of my crack choices because of the connection. Yeah, no, totally. That is a legitimate possibility right now. Still, even with that wording, okay, let's see. 3 weeks, no Pokemon. Jumping to Prison Break arc feels like happening too soon. The way the devs are shown feels kind of meh. Giving us a simple... okay, the quintessential quintuplets airs Thursdays. Time to see who's going to be the winner. Didn't see the manga. With a list of mostly random heroes not making feel very impactful. Sarge, I agree with you on that one. All for One taking over feels really dumb, making all that build-up feel worthless unless it's only temporary for the arc itself. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, that one I actually don't know. I don't know if it's a temporary situation or if we're actually going to be going into permanently. Like, in my mind, it makes total sense that All for One would just take over Shigaraki. Because at the end of the day, look, there's just no way around it. End of the day, the final fight's going to be All for One versus Shigaraki, with Shigaraki sacrificing himself as a last act of goodness. There's just no way around it. That's how Shonen Jump series end. That's how it's gonna go down for this one. Like, look, honestly, the only one who you could say maybe didn't do that for the final fight right now is maybe Bleach. But even then, in Bleach, Aizen was turned into a good person by the end, or at the very least, a nuanced, layered character. Like, if you go and you look at the novels after Bleach's end, it's like Aizen comes out of this with Urahara looking like he's actually the big evil. When you have Urahara saying that, like, Shuhei better go hang out with Ichigo, otherwise Urahara might have to kill Shuhei, it's like, shit, man. Urahara legitimately is the most dangerous person in the whole game. So when it comes to Shonen Jump, right, look at Toriko, and because Toriko has a pretty strong redemption at that one, and maybe like Naruto like did something with Obito. Obito's the one that gets like the redemption for Naruto, and then you have like a final boss coming out of nowhere usurping Madara. So we really got to be looking at things like that. All for One at this point is just like the ultimate symbol of evil. That's why making him the final boss, just to like wipe away all the sins of all the other villains, it makes more sense to me. I'm trying to think of other Shonen Jumps that have botched endings like that, where the final boss is kind of redeemed and all that. It's just redemption is such a strong part of Shonen Jump. That's what makes it kind of difficult. And the way Uraraka is being reduced to showing the civilian perspective indirectly feels sad when she has so much more potential. Well, for one, I just don't like his old character is his sister. His sister has more appeal than him, and she can't talk a lot of time. He is he's boring. By the way, I don't mean characters. I just mean one of the worst. And should have clarified. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Dark Revenant. Again, I actually understand what you're saying, man. Legitimately, because Tanjiro does come in with a different build that doesn't appeal to everyone. Like Tanjiro, honestly, I think appeals more. Well, to moms. I think Tanjiro's it appeals more to moms. So what was mentioned about irregular? Oh, Gohan. I just said that it's just because like I know that the anime made changes, and I just want to know what the changes are. It covers the art. Okay, let's see. By the way, I got that. Oh, hey, Master Gray. Let's see. And that's not adding mistakes from Skeptic not being there to Dobby's hair being wrong and going abroad dialogue being argued between translators makes this feel weird. Oh yeah, speaking of that, with that translators, I was bothered, right? Because I made the video on Sunday night. I got the images for the video, or I recorded the video on Sunday night. I got the images for the video during the morning, and only after I started uploading it that I went to check the manga again. I saw that they changed the translation to what the fan translators had, and I'm just thinking like, what's the point? How did you mess up? How did you make such a big mess up mistake with Endeavor? Like, holy crap. What are we going to do? Like, they probably do this very often. They're probably making changes on these chapters very often. That just makes it worse because, like, My Hero Academia has unfortunately, My Hero Academia requires a lot of attention to the wordplay, because otherwise you might miss a crucial detail. Like the whole situation with All for One right now that we're in, because if some crucial detail is missed with All for One, we're going to end up with people with really wild different theories about what's going to happen. And at this point, some of us are going to be kind of disappointed when it comes to All for One. Like, we're either going to be getting what White Despair is hoping for, that is a Shigaraki being groomed properly, or we're going to get like an All for One getting taken over, which is what I think is going to happen because of Shonen Jump's like just general editorial standards. It is weird. I agree. Master Gate's got a meme. I don't mind. I like that he revolves around the sister and family. It's different and sweet. I can't relate because of bad family, but I know where he starts due to losing class. I'm hoping Horikoshi's doing okay mentally with all the mistakes that's been happening recently. You know, it might just be the stress from the movies. We know that Oda, when Strong World was being made, or one of the movies being made, Oda took to alcohol and cigarettes more, and he was only getting 3 hours of sleep. So legitimately, with the anime coming up and then the movie, he legitimately might be having a little bit of trouble. We haven't gotten so bad yet that we've seen an unfinished chapter though, which is worth pointing out. But yeah, I think there is reason to be concerned about his health here. If Deku was a traitor, that would throw everyone for a loop. I can't seem to find out about Monoma and Pony, but essentially said that they were at another base, that they were all part and was on the front lines with them being emotional support. Oh, that's great. That's pretty much what we were hoping that was going to be the case. I feel bad that Monoma didn't get placed here, though. Tanjiro is just okay. What makes me think he's not great is the fact that he's already perfect character-wise. It seems he's done too perfectly in person. I need a flawed MC. Oh, you know what, Aguhad? If you need a character that needs to grow, I understand that. Some people would rather see those kind of characters. Yeah, in that sense, like, you know, we also have Luffy from One Piece. Luffy comes into the story being essentially a pre-made character. You don't really see character development from One Piece characters. You see more of character exposition. Like Luffy, and I think Luffy's a character about being himself all the time. And there's not really that much character development occurring there. With Tanjiro, Tanjiro learns about different tragedies, kind of thing. He's experiencing tragedy at a high rate. Yeah. I understand that perspective Agu had. Let's see. White Despair, tell me what volume it's in, and I will also look later on. I still like Naruto even today, Boruto nope. 8 more days to Lock Horizon, can't wait, me too. Can't wait for the hidden dungeon I can only enter and Mushiko Tensei. Uraraka had missed potential from the beginning because she was always set up to literally be the romantic interest from the beginning. Yeah, preach, Monica. That's how it goes. I really enjoyed the first of this arc. Oh, there's a new person. A little rad Lotat. Hello. I really enjoyed the first of this arc. Probably my favorite moments for the pros, both at the mansion and hospital, but I personally was really unsatisfied with the way Shigi came back to life. I guess without spoiling anyone who didn't read, how did you feel about it? So, wait. I need to find this. So people dig in new Asta design. Okay, let's see. As much as I wish Uraraka had more to her character, I did enjoy the moment with her in the past chapter. I did too. I liked it. So just to echo what Sarge said, because Sarge earlier had said that with Uraraka, one second. Just want to make sure I quote Sarge here properly. Let's see. Jumping to Prison Break art feels too soon. Random hero, Shigaraki. Yeah, the way Uraraka is being reduced to showing the civilian perspectives indirectly. My issue is, like, I like that they showed the civilian perspective. I don't like that Uraraka has to get sacrificed to do it. Like, right now, this feels like a consolation prize for the character and not something that she could be doing cool. Like, in my mind, again, I have Ida and Ochako in the same kind of level in terms of, like, they're C-list heroes in Class 1A. And, you know, if Ida could survive it, I'm thinking Ochako could survive it. Ida survives just because of his power, but Ochako, if the author told me that Ochako survived being attacked by 2 Nomu because of pure skill, I wouldn't disagree with him, you know. I'd be like, shit, you know, because Ochako works hard. But he didn't do that. So I'm not happy. I feel bad because I also remember how so many people were saying that, yeah, Ochako's going to come in, she's going to save Izuku, and that's going to trigger float. And it's like, that would have been an amazing idea. But it didn't happen because Ochako follows the rules, whereas Ida breaks them. Already, like, Ida's just so much more worthwhile than Ochako at this point. Because Ochako just witnesses things that help her along her character develop, or like her hero development, whereas Ida's not the same person we've seen since the beginning. He's fundamentally different. Like, you can see the influence Stain had on him. Sent you the meme. Gotcha, Master Gray. You sent it on Discord? Shit, where's my phone? Ah, well, lost my phone here. How is everyone doing? Hey, King of Nerds. I just want to see Aftermath with Hawks and what his relationship is with Dabi. I mean, with him knowing his name and stuff. Ah, yes, that. I really think, like, okay, you know, anticlimactic, I know, but when you have Dabi who was willing to go to Skeptic to use Skeptic's information network, and you have Dobby, who had access to the Doctor, who was able to make a copy of Twice's quirk. I really don't think it'd be unreasonable to think that perhaps Dobby used the Doctor's records. I don't think that'd be unreasonable. Him finding out about Hawks' parent as well. If you just say Dobby has a really good information network, again, like Dobby can use people really well. That's the thing that throws me off, is because Dobby's so competent with resource management. He could have gotten everything from the Doctor. But if it's some other angle, that'd be pretty cool too. Oda's a madman in general with that sleep schedule. New Asta design just looks more like a chode, that he's too short and beefy. Not really my preferred type of character body. I actually agree with Dark Revenant. When I first saw Asta's design in the manga for this arc with the demon tree or whatever, not a fan. Wasn't a fan. I like my characters' clothes. That's for both females and males. I have to be fair. That reminds me. I got into a small dispute in Aniki's stream. Not sure if you know that My Hero channel, about Tokoyami versus Redestro. Do you think the room they fought in had light? He claimed it was dark, so Ragnarok was possible. You can clearly see light on the ceilings. I'm pretty sure they aren't just sitting in the dark for fun. Sarge, I'm with you 100%. Okay, so, that bothers me. Sarge, I don't think you're wrong to dispute that, because when it comes to that situation, there was light in there. There's no way around it. When that situation happened, I was arguing it the same way that you're arguing it right here. I totally agree. No, Tokoyami was a plot device. No matter how you look at it, when you look at the rhetoric that brought in the other kids into that area, Tokoyami does not fit in with Kaminari. He does not fit in with Mushroom Girl. He does not fit in with Mudman. Tokoyami was because the author needed to have Tokoyami there, because the most critical moment that whole situation is when Tokoyami looks back at Hawks. The author needed Tokoyami there because he needed Tokoyami to be there to deal with Dobby and save Hawks. The rest of the story bent around it in order to justify that. It is insane that the heroes thought that they could bring Tokoyami in there into tunnels that most definitely are not dark without knowing the lighting situation in the tunnels. And when you look at those pages, those tunnels are lit. The tunnels have lights all over them. Nah, man, that was bad writing. That was the author doing the things that he needed to do to justify the situation. The same way that the author dared to have the characters be the biggest idiots in the world by not having a plan to quite literally counter the man that leveled a mountain range. No, it's just bad writing. That was the narrative being warped in order to make sure that the author could get the situation he needed to produce. I'm not a fan of it. Like, if you look back at my chapter reviews for that video, I stand by it. That was my opinion back then. It's still my opinion now. It's pretty shitty composition of a scenario. Now, mind you, I say shitty, but, take it back a bit and consider that this is a weekly manga and the guy has deadlines. Sometimes you need bad plot movements in order to get the story going. Bleach did this a lot. And like at that point, it's where you gotta be like, okay, I understand, like you needed to do this kind of thing, but I don't respect it. It's a bad plot point, and everything about it just stinks. Like, the way you have to argue it isn't that there was light in the tunnel. It was like, how do the heroes know well enough that there's light in the tunnels, and why are they using Tokoyami when quite literally they have Cementos who can do the same thing? Like, think about it. Cementos, all he has to do is just apply his quirk. If he can apply a quirk such that he can break apart a mansion, he can definitely apply his quirk so as to shut that tunnel down. You want to say Tokoyami had to bring down the tunnel? Many other people have the capability that Tokoyami has. It's just, it was a stupid thing. You had a better time arguing for Kaminari, Mudman, and Mushroom Girl. No, man. No, I think you're totally right on this one. That was just bad plotting. I've seen some interesting discussion regarding... Wait, let me just make sure. Seen some interesting discussion regarding Tomura and All For One. Essentially, it's all symbolic of the Holy Trinity. All For One is the Father, Tomura is the Son, and the vestige of All For One is the Holy Spirits of sorts. You know what, Despair? My first knee-jerk reaction is maybe people are looking too deeply into this. Like, you're making connections where they sort of work, kind of thing. Like, it's an interesting thought. It'll be interesting if that's what it kind of works out to being. The problem... The problem is, though, the Holy Trinity, at the highest level, they're all one person. I don't know. I don't think it's intentional. I think that's like, that's drawing the comparison because there's just enough details to kind of make it work. But I think All for One and the All for One vestige, interesting, really making me think. It's just, the problem is trios happen in a lot of different cultures. Like, trios are just easy to structure. That's why you gotta be careful with this particular situation. If this was Chainsaw Man, I would agree. But Hero Academia doesn't follow mythical inspiration all that often. That's the particular issue with Hero Academia. It's just not thematically there. That's interesting still, though. That's interesting. I'll need to think more about that. He's a mini Yami now in new clothes. He claimed it was dark, so Ragnarok was possible. You can see, yeah, and I'm pretty, yeah, we already got that. I had a rough Xmas and New Year. Broke up with girlfriend, having terrible... Oh no, King of the Nerds! Hey King, listen. It sucks. It really does. I broke up with many girlfriends. But, you know, the good thing here, King, is what I would tell you if you want advice, because, you know, like, advice like this, getting it from the internet, you know, not the best thing you could do. But if you want advice, the thing is, time usually makes things better. What you want to do is not wallow in self-pity for too much. I remember when I broke up with my girlfriend of 2 years, back when I was still a younger guy and slightly more hopeful about the world. It was a lot. I was really lonely because, like, this person actually took up a lot of my time, and then, you know, now it's just I had a lot more free time. And so what I ended up doing was I hung out with my roommates more and got into a lot more mischief with them. So it's kind of hard, especially now in these days, because there is that social component that's being limited because of COVID. But if you can find something else to do just to take your mind off of it, I know it sounds really lame, but just doing something else helps, right? Because while the feelings might be really, really rough in that first little go, I think what you want to do is get to the point that you aren't remembering, like the memories of it aren't hurting you. And to do that, like, you know, just having bursts of a couple of hours where you get to forget about the whole situation, like maybe you're just playing video games and you're forgetting about it, that makes the journey towards that time when, you know, when time has kind of muted the feeling, it makes the journey easier. That would be my perspective there. It's always really hard to deal with it in the moment, though. So whatever you do, King, you know, my only advice would be just don't wallow in it, because if you wallow in it, chances are you're gonna the journey to get to that point where you're numb to it, it's gonna take a lot longer, and that's kind of what you want to avoid at all costs. You don't want to wallow and make yourself miserable. You don't want to get to the point where you're making yourself miserable as opposed to just surviving the misery. I think your idea about Tanjiro being being more a mono character like character. I know I feel I just want to protect the small bean. Yeah, I have a rumor to send you to about an author. Yeah, Master Grace, send me those out. Master Grace, you can send me whatever you want, man. I just can't see them right now because, like, my phone's away. But just send whatever you need to send. Tragedy at high RPM. There's a lot. Oh no. Oh no, there's a lot of comments. Guys, I'm going through the comments. Considering that quirk all for one gives you stigmata, I think the symbolism holds some weight to it. Yes. In that regard, I was thinking about that as you were mentioning it. Still it might be a passing reference, but I don't think it's a passing reference, but I'm not sure it's going to work out that way. King Nerd said, have you seen the theory that Deku's mother is dead? Please let me know that theory. I don't think she's dead, so please let me know the theory if there is one. I don't keep up, but I heard 1000 One Piece was let down, but since it's One Piece, people still hype it up. Even Roger Base didn't agree with how it went, typical shonen stuff. Dark Revenant, I have Eden's here as my proof, because he was keeping up with this, but all throughout this One Piece run-up, I was saying it. One Piece Chapter 1000 is going to feature Luffy punching Kaido. That's just how it's going to happen. Everyone else that hyped it up, I'm actually happy to say, like, you guys don't understand Oda. Nah, man. It, like, the story's about Luffy. Like, yes, Luffy punching Kaido is probably what was going to work better for Oda. I'm actually happy to hear that everyone disagrees with it. And it's like, Chapter 1000, honestly, I don't think that's a big deal. I know it's a monument, but it's not a big deal because other series in Shonen Jump have reached 1000 before. Detective Conan is much more impressive. Hajime no Ippo is much more impressive when it comes to the chapter counts. Because of that, you know, for me personally, Chapter 1000 wasn't that big of a deal aside from being a milestone. And even then, you know, I think punching Kaido was good enough. So I guess the big issue is whether or not you celebrated Chapter 1000 aside from being just a nice little like milestone, or if you just thought that Chapter 1000 was going to be keeping up the current pace. Honestly, the Supernova showing up in front of Kaido at 1000 I think is really reasonable. Uraraka X Deku is my least favorite ship ever. It's from the Volume 29 X. You can see the page on fandom.com. It does not translate there. Gotcha, White Despair. I will check 29. Anyone read the Death Mage who doesn't want a fourth time? No, not yet. Deku's mom ain't dead. It's a bike. Gohan, why does that title sound so lewd? God, this might get dragged on. Oh, hello, Mike Black. It felt like the Fourth Great Ninja War, except there's still more plot. Really lost a little interest in the story. You know, to Mike's point here, the situation with the one thing that made it worse was just that intense back and forth. Like, Horikoshi, I need a break, man. It was rough. At some point, it didn't matter what was happening in the middle because we just didn't know when the end was going to be coming, right? So that part, that roller coaster like sensation of the ups and downs, I think psychologically, legitimately does make things worse. What's actually really interesting is that recently I've been talking to the editor for the books and shit like that, right? And, you know, I've been talking to her about what works in terms of what is successful with what people buy. And this was just a random thing, but she was telling me, like, you got to make sure that you have enough time to make people, like, take a break. She worded it like, you got to make sure that people get to stretch their legs and enjoy the story a little bit more. And then when you look at general theory on writing action stories, they tell you, like, you know, when you have there's a story structure which is like peaking and it's constant peaking, but what that story structure does is, like, you know, you go from 0 to say 50, but then you drop down to 20, and, you know, that's your break, that's your reprieve, that's where, like, the characters, you know, they get to, like, back down a little bit, the climax just got sorted, but you'll notice that you're at a 20 instead of a 0, so then you, like, slowly build up to, like, say a 60, which is higher than the previous climax, and then you come down, and again you get that little bit of a break. So when we think about it in a classical sense, right, breaks are important. When you have an arc like this where you don't get a break and instead you get various degrees of despair, where you get, like, some hope but then it all gets shot down and this guy just won't stop, that's actually really tiring. I recently wrote a scene that does a lot of that, where it's just like, shit, this is not getting worse, and by the time I'm out of that, writing that scene, I'm exhausted. I think everyone's going to be very exhausted when they're done reading it as well, properly. And it's just, that's kind of the effect of what happens when you go so quickly from hope to despair multiple times. Hey, Black Fox, yeah, I took a break. I'm new here. Tracy. Oh, hello, Tracy. Oh, lots of new people. Discord. And thank you, Master Gray. Let's see. Nah, it isn't. Let's see. Been almost a couple of months since I stopped playing Genshin. Oh, cool. Yeah, Tracy. I like playing it right now just because it's, like, it's nice and casual. He's on his third life. It doesn't want a fourth one. Okay. Isekai Harem. I find it hilarious that a lot of people are complaining about Uraraka not being involved. Yet the main theory I saw about what she would do or would be put in danger, and Izuku would come and save her or something like that. Awake and float to save her. Yes, I remember that one. Kind of does, though. Let's see. like, honestly, when it comes to Uraraka, just to answer White Despair there, you know, once Uraraka was not showing up at the situation with Ida, it became more of a situation of like Horikoshi salvaged the character. If we're talking about salvaging the character, Horikoshi, did you do that? Yes, technically. You salvaged the character. Thank you. Thank you for at least doing your duty to your character, right? Because she is the main female character. She deserves something. But I am just so excited to see what Horikoshi is going to do in the future. Because Momo is more popular than Uraraka right now. And it's only Horikoshi's fault. It's entirely his fault this is happening. I'm excited to see if this is going to affect things such that Momo gets put into the spotlight more. I'm very excited. Uraraka, the only thing that's going to guarantee her more screen time is the obligation that Horikoshi has to her. And we're going to see how that's going to wrap out. Right now, we're in two situations where Uraraka has pretty much failed us in terms of being like the more impressive heroes. If it happens a third time, then we know like she's a botched character. Horikoshi doesn't have a good enough idea for her. That's when I'll feel very comfortable saying like, yeah, no, these are the problems that Horikoshi's having with the character. I stream suggested me, then I clicked it. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Who does want the fourth time? People complain about her being a typical female love interest, that they want her to be a damsel, a bit hypocritical. If you ask me, yes, I do agree with that. Again, like, I don't think Ochako is a typical female love interest. I think Horikoshi like doesn't know what to do with that. Ochako is still a good example for subtle development. If we had a poster for subtle development, Ochako should be on it. You know, honestly, if Ochako wasn't the main female character and we were seeing her the way that she's presented in the story, I would respect that. Like, if we swapped Ochako and Momo, and Ochako is essentially Momo, and this is what is done with Ochako's character, as a side character, I'd be thinking like, shit, this is good. You know, a person that actually fought Bakugo. You had a great point about how society perceives girls, how Bakugo perceives this worthy opponent. You have her going off to get better. Like, Ochako's power upgrades, well, she doesn't have power upgrades. Tactic upgrades are really great. The thing is, Ochako's subtle development, if you could apply that to every single other student in Class 1A, they'd all be great. They'd all be, I respect them a lot more. We'd be having a completely different conversation about what we are expecting out of our characters. But it's just unfortunate. I think Ochako will always be a great talking piece. But she's not going to be, well, at this point, like, she's just not going to be inspiring. I have more, like, it just doesn't look good for her. It doesn't look good for her at all. And I think especially for Hero Academia, which is a bombastic series, you need Ochako to be as bombastic as the other characters in order to get people to be really enthralled with her, right? It's just a little bit unfortunate. Now, as to the point about them being hypocritical, you know, that's just people latching on to what they think is exciting. Saving the girl is exciting for a straight young man, right? Like, that's a power fantasy right there. There's a reason that kind of story is codified in our histories and our culture, because saving damsels, which are usually the symbol of purity, that's an ideal that is it ingrained into men? Would you say it's ingrained into men? I mean, it's encouraged. It's an ideal that's played up a lot in stories and classic tales, right? It's a virtue, I guess. So that idea coming out, I think it's just because of what people think is a good story kind of thing. Usually when people are talking about that and not noticing the hypocrisy within it, it's usually because they're going on autopilot without thinking about why exactly that trope exists. It's because he's like that, because he looks like up to Yami. You guys are talking about Black Clover. He's literally a mini Yami. Pretty good. Okay, Black Fox. That's Black Fox. Edith was talking to Revenant. It wasn't a letdown. People had expectation of a big reveal. Okay, he has a lot against him. He starts off weak, gets stronger as it goes on. Let's see. You know what? I've actually would have liked Hawk's times to be drawn out longer. I wanted to see more of that, and maybe Hawk's view on Hero Society actually shifting a bit. L. So I got 2 points here for UL. On the first one, I would have liked seeing Hawks with them more as well. But when it comes to the Hero Society thing, I don't see it shifting because, one, if Hawks was shifted by crazy people, I would be concerned. And the other thing is that Hawks came into the story with a perspective that was uniquely his own. That being that he wants heroes to be able to take a break. He doesn't want the world to be in danger all the time. So when you look at it from that perspective, Hawks wasn't going to change because everything was done for a peaceful for a peaceful world for the sake of heroes. And when you have the guy going in there and these guys are telling him, yeah, we're going to bomb the cities, it's like, no one's going to get behind that. He's not going to get behind that because of the whole peaceful world rhetoric. And when when you are seeing the other Liberation Front people saying like, yeah, you know, we just want to be able to use our quirks more. It's like, no, that's insane. You're getting upset because someone's telling you can't punch people in public. No. I don't think he would have shifted because the people who are with the Liberation Front, some of them I don't think fully understand the danger that they're getting involved in, and that's typical of cult-like mentalities. They don't typically understand the ramifications of their actions. Instead, when you got like that kind of situation, you know, you cater to that person's ego. Like, yeah, you should have a right to do whatever you want with your body. It's your body. It's your, you know, you have a right to punch people in the street if you want to punch them. You cater to that. You give them a philosophy that allows that. But what's important is that you got to look at people like Gentle. Using quirks wildly without judgment is dangerous. And that's what these people were ultimately going to do, or that's what they were ultimately fighting for. They were fighting for the right to use their quirks. But it's just, quirks are too dangerous, even though they're a part of you. And this is a little bit worse than in the Japanese original words, because in Japanese, quirks are individualities. The rhetoric of my individuality, this thing that makes me me, is being suppressed. When you're playing in that kind of identity, it gets a lot worse. But that's the thing. Overall, Hawks came in there with a little bit too strong of a rhetoric, and I think the rhetoric of the Liberation Front is a little bit too immature for Hawks to have broken into it, because he's coming from a abused background. He's not going to be playing around with people who ultimately want to encourage survival of the fittest. Everyone who is weak has to follow kind of thing, given that he was most likely a child when his father was a criminal and all that kind of stuff. That is why it's, let's see, sadly we'll be caught up to this translation. But that's my opinion. Did the big expectations correlate with Roger what had a problem with? I might have to look at what Roger said for this one, Revenant, but if you know, let me know. Here's a fun question, Drip. If you could cosplay any My Hero Academia character, who would you choose? Aizawa in a suit. I'd go for anyone that lets me wear a suit, just because I don't want to cosplay. I don't like cosplaying. It's not for me. Kara cosplays. She can cosplay whatever she wants, but I just get skeeved out. Remember when Uraraka was supposed to be an airhead, happy-go-lucky character? Now she's more serious and too focused, and some still think she didn't get no character development. Do you guys remember the fight of Ladros and Asta? Can anyone tell me the title of the music? Oh, I don't know that one. Gohan wasn't saying it wasn't good, just the title gave me a childish giggle. Another thing that bothered me was how fast Redestro was taken down. Also a short-lived villain, it seems. I liked him. I low-key wish he fought the kids. I agree, El. I would have loved to see him fight the kids. But Redestro was taken down by Edgeshot. And Edgeshot's a number 3 technical hero. When you have a man that can just burrow into your heart and leave a hole, it's kind of hard to actually be able to fight him. Oh, hey, open arms. But for Redestro, and this goes back to Hawks, this is the strategy for Hero Academia. If it's not Bakugo, Todoroki, Shoto, or Endeavor, chances are the fight's going to be off-screened. That's just how it's going to go. If you're Ochako, chances are you're definitely going to be off-screen, because we kind of see this a little bit with the Overhaul arc. It's an unfortunate thing, El. It's just Horikoshi most likely has been burned from people not having enough time with Izuku. Because I remember this was a big complaint during Villain Academia. People were not well, the rankings for Hero Academia went down, and then people like actually were complaining about not having Izuku in the story for an extended period of time. So just because Hero Academia lives based on the rankings, that's why Horikoshi focuses more on Izuku than not. And especially for like a hero like Edgeshot and Redestro, they weren't gonna do it. Like it would have been nice to have, but he wasn't gonna do it. I want the Redestro and Genshin to be more fleshed out, more important villains. Agreed. Still agreed. Can you tell me what Roger said? Didn't watch this, right? To expand on Hody manufacturing situation, not only the heroes that... Okay, so I now know where I am in the comments. Shit. There's a lot. There is a lot. Oh, no. Oh, God, guys. I am so sorry. Oh, no. Oh, no. There's a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go through them. I'm gonna try going harder. To expand on Hody manufacturing, not only the heroes didn't plan for Makia, the heroes never could expect Shiki to come back to life with sheer will and wires when he was clearly dead. That one, like, actually, if they're saying that's how he came back to life, I wouldn't expect it. But like the Makia thing, like, they could have expected more from Makia. Are you guys still talking about? Okay, let's see. We tend to go different stuff. One Piece Chapter 1000 was not as over the top as people overhyped it to be. Let's see. I don't know. I only keep up with his. He just mentioned something about one of the characters being a letdown, not dying, or something, and some other stuff. Oh, you know, I'll go see what he was saying. I can try to look. Yeah, things get crazy like this, so it's hard to keep up. They're talking about different stuff now. Thank you, Jeff. It's definitely been hard since lockdown. It's been an effect. I don't think it was about him expecting something huge. But instead, just going on a chapter. I can't go anywhere. So, okay. It wasn't because people thought some biker would make an appearance or some huge, but we were using this as an excuse to say it was a bad chapter. Found the extra page translation. That's true, but okay. Hono was worried about him, but Monoma and the rest of the Class 1B members are fine. They were placed in a headquarters that located in a different district. Yeah, that was what we assumed. I need to know... Thank you, White Despair. I need to know the OST. Okay. Going faster, Monoma Pony, rear guard support, Mono our lag. Okay, cool. Have you checked out the OP? I just wanted to know if I missed it. Oh, Quizzer. I haven't checked it out yet. We should give the chat... I was waiting for... Oh, god damn it. I've been reading Dr. Stone manga. I'm up to date now. One Piece on break. If Deku Mother die, he might turn into something angrier than Kachan. No, I think he's more likely to be depressed. If that's the case, that's a fair. But there are people who are blah 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 blah. I don't care much about Black Horrors. What should I do? So what? Let's see. We also got an extra page on Majestic. I'll post the stuff below. Oh shit! Majestic's profile page. Nice. Good for him. He likes women. Nice. So the hero, he's competent enough to have ranked in top 10 before. Guy, why? Oh man, why did he get rid of him? His quirk is magic. He can create ring-shaped energies and control things with them as he passes. There's a size limit on the rings, and he can't move things that don't fit within the rings. Yep. Okay, spare me. Probably referring to his own. Yep. Okay. Cool. Definitely over. Okay. Cool. Going to head off to bed. Okay, she's gone. I'm curious. Will you be watching Kimono Jihen? It kind of flew under the radar. Nobody has said anything about it. Let me Google that. I'm trying to go faster through the comments right now, because we are pretty far away. Kimono Jihin. I might end up watching it. Depends on when, though. I feel like people make My Hero out of nothing just to make videos about it to get a bunch of views. I mean, the dumb My Hero should make a 500,000 views consistently. They do, Dark Revenant. They really do. I'm very happy that they get a lot of views. Okay, theories are gonna drop attention for view. Let's see. Higanta Makia was granted 6 quirks and has 7 in total with his original quirk. Oh shit! That's a big detail. So White Despair, Endurance is his original quirk. He's a stat 2, Pain Block, make him not feel pain. 3, Gigantification, makes him grow larger when he gets excited. 4, Dog, strengthens his sense of hearing and smell. Energy Efficiency allows him to live with minimal amounts of water and minerals. Oh my god. Well, since not many series make it that far and how super... It's understandable. Okay. I was watching a video by Dan Exclaims, and I remember him saying that this arc wasn't a war. 6 strong muscles makes his muscles very hard and strong. Okay. Mole allows him to switch into a mode that digs the ground. When Mole is activated, his fingers elongate. He grows spines on his back to help him. Oh wow. That's a lot of details. Predictions about Deku possibly having a character arc about him struggling with danger sense. Feels like that would be a big thing for him to go through and master. Did he struggle with float? I hope he'll get an arc. The 4th user is a plot point, so we'll probably get some kind of arc for it. I don't know if he'll struggle. And he gets a visor. Since Makia absolutely can't use quirks that require thinker, he's crammed with simple physical quirks. For example, Pain Block and Gigantification are quirks that can be controlled with some practice, but Makia has them active all the time. They're quirks that are given to him to maximize his original endurance quirk. Okay. Cool. Mole was given to him so that he can go into hiding. Following his master's wishes, Maskia has been hiding in the mountains ever since. Alright, cool. She creates plot holes. She underperforms. After losing to All Might and having most of his under captured, in addition to ending up with a crippled body, All for One has been using the Doctor and Makia to recollect quirks. Nice! Oh, man, White Despair, thank you for all that information. With Midnight, Momo definitely going to go through changes. Her and Todoroki might work out if Horikoshi works out. Yep. Make Ochako the traitor and give Deku more character. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I was imagining Danger Sense making him out of sleep. Maybe. That could be a problem that could come out of it. I was thinking maybe Danger Sense would go off so much, or would go off without him being able to help. It would drive him crazy. It would. That's probably what happened to the fourth user. And we're not going to talk about Bleach comeback and Shaman King. Oh, no, that's exciting, Tracy. Are you keeping up? Oh, no, that's someone else. Let's see. I thought I was also about heroes having more free time because people are able to take care of themselves more. Oh, well, if that's what we end up getting as well, that'd be great. Actually, Miguel, I think that's probably also correct. More than likely. Okay, let's see. Dark Triad arc is coming in the anime. Okay, we're going there. It's like a guns right plus my body, my choice hybrid ideology. The volume extra also seems to showcase a scene that couldn't be added. Essentially, what happened when Higanta Makia grabbed all the members. Very interesting. I am going as fast as I can. Trip, based on that Night Eye. Oh, Night Eye! Yeah, Night Eye is the perfect cosplay. The volume extras also. Okay, no, I got that. Let's see. Quizzer's out. Okay. Oh, he's not going to see. Sorry. Oh, my bad, Quizzer. Let's see. I think the Japanese have had a bad history of manga deviating from the main plot, so that's why they don't want Horikoshi to lose focus on the manga characters being Izuku, Bakugo, Shoto, and Endeavor. Fair. Need a fan art of Trade versus the comments. Eden's. Though, I would love to see that. Okay, guys. Imagine Shoto versus Dobby, no quirks, just fists. That'd be great. I hope My Hero Academia goes the global route. Split up the kids, go to different countries. What are quirks used like in Iraq and North Korea? Did you ever get around to Data Bullet? Very quickly, Open Arms. I'm not sure if Horikoshi is worldly enough to actually do that. That's the problem. I think Hero Academia going international by Horikoshi's hand, I think that causes a problem. I don't think Horikoshi has the ability to do it right now. It's just like with the way he manages characters right now, I'm not hopeful. Maybe if he had other authors to help him and he just does like broad strokes and the authors can fill in the details, I think it could work. Did you ever get around to Data Bullet? No, not yet, Random Trainer. I hate that I want to see Dobby have an emotional moment with his fam, but he literally can't cry and doesn't even care about anyone anymore. I think we could see a moment where he like terrorizes his other siblings at their house. Let's see. If Deku's mom were to die, that would give a good way. If Deku's mother died, that would give a good gateway to the Deku's father showing up, giving him courage or helping him overcome his darkest times. Agreed. Let's see. But I don't know if Hori would go through with that. Okay, we're all. The way Ochako's character is now and people view her, do you think that Horikoshi could change the main heroine if he just needed to or wanted to? No, Mark, because we gotta look at other examples. Naruto stuck with Sakura all the way throughout. Black Clover? Well, no, Black Clover doesn't count because no one hates Noelle. Naruto is pretty much the big example, and then Bleach treated Rukia as the main female character, even though Orohime was technically the main female character as well. And even then, like, it's all about Ichigo and Rukia, and she gets no, I don't think he's gonna go through that. That maybe in another magazine, but not in Shonen Jump. It depends. I need to see precedent for it. I just don't see All for One being Deku's dad. I don't see it either. Sentaraku. Okay, let's see. They also tease season word Daylight Bullet. I don't think Ochako will be dropped as a main hero. It's not that bad yet. I heard it getting one DxD to have an animated follow suit to the end. We at least need a moment between Natsu and Toya. I agree. Wait. I got to the end! Thanks, guys. Oh my god. Alright. Great. Whew. Alright. Great. So let me just see. We need a whole family intervention, L. And if they do hate the Noel, they're just wrong. No one hates. Okay, so this is shippers. Shippers hate Noel. So if the shippers hate Noel, that's like shippers don't count when we're talking about serious discussions because they're shippers. We can't talk about them like that. But you know, like I don't see anyone saying that like Noel is a waste of time, right? Because Noel, she has her accolades. I get it, the Mimosa fans want to get rid of Noel. That's fine, like whatever. But otherwise, he got to the end quick. Everyone, spam more comments. Torment them. Bring it, White Despair. I can take it. Here's another 300 comments coming up. Oh no, why do shippers hate Noel? She is so adorable in ships. Ray. Well, you know, Ray. People just get they get worked up. They like their stuff. They like their fiction. I shouldn't have picked this fight. They like their fiction. They just right. All right. I remember what happened last time. I want to see Shoto, and more Shoto. Well, El, you're in a great place because Hero Academia is going to show more Shoto. I'm Trip feeling like he's go after the war arc after reading all those comments. I need a mental breather after that. Is it weird if I watch Sailor Moon? No. More so her Tsunade attitude and the whole I'm royalty excuse. Is that worse than the anime Random Trainer? Because I don't get that bothered with Noel, but I might be like also kind of like blurring it out. You know, I might not be thinking about it too much. I feel like it's dangerous for me to play The Abyss while we're having so many comments today. I'll just look for more quests to do. My colleagues are homophobic. Well, Tracy, that is a bad situation to be in. I am sorry to hear that. We'll do commissions. Yeah, we'll just do commissions because those are like relatively mindless. Shoto! What's wrong with Tsundere? She's actually a Tsundere written well. Can't blame them. I sometimes, yeah. We had a conversation about Tsunderes being written well the other day too, or like when the Gohan was here. But yeah, nah. Like I personally don't really mind Noel. I think Noel is fine. And again, Noel gets to do so many cool things that I don't really have a problem with her. She's competent, right? That's all I ever want. The new Black Clover op is great looking. I don't like some of the Black Clover females. Some are just annoying. Fair enough, Dark Revenant. We all have our taste. Also, back on the topic of Tomura and the religious symbolism. He was in a surgery and dead for 3 months before coming back to life and now has stigmata. If that doesn't scream Jesus, I don't know what does. Yeah. He wasn't crucified. He didn't die for anyone's sins. I mean, again, like I feel like this is like a lot of things happening, and that you can fit them together. But like, okay. Let me like just give the proper justification here. I come from a background where people try to connect random things together all the time. If Horikoshi is going for a passing reference, I'd believe that, but I don't think it's anything like all that deep, just because there's too many deviations from it, right? That's the only reason. Like again, passing references are cool, but even the trope of a character coming back to life and coming back with more power, I don't think that's underdone. I think that happens, but I can't recall any theories right now. Or even characters going through metamorphosis. That happens often enough. Oh, you know what? Cultivation stories. Cultivation stories would definitely have that gimmick. That's the problem I'm having there. That's the only reason. But again, White Despair. White Despair, just to be clear, I want to say I do think it's interesting. But okay, the pose that All For One has, you mean arms wide open? Like, come on, man. Arms wide open, that's a general pose. I feel like this is still... It still feels like it's just you're drawing in a lot of different elements that just happen to like align with this idea. Again, like I can't get behind it. I can't get behind it here. But that might also be my own little bias there, White Despair. And again, the only reason I'm staying away from it is just because I don't want to get caught in. I don't want to get caught into it. That said, I am looking for that page right now with someone not being crucified. It's just when you bring up the crucifixion here, where? Like, is it Shigaraki being crucified? I'm looking for it right now. Give me a quick second, White Despair. I'm gonna quickly look for that image you said. Now, White Despair, I want you to know, I always like it when you bring up these topics here, man. But the reason I back away from it is just because the One Piece community like makes a lot of wild comparisons and they turn out to not be true, even though they had a lot of circumstantial evidence. That's the only reason I stay away from it. I recommend taking a look at the picture, the pose All For One has when he tells Tomura to come to him in the dream sequence. Okay, so if I was to like break that down, we're talking about Tomura being the Jesus here, but you're attributing the pose to All For One, the quite literal devil in this situation. Again, like arms wide open is a general pose, right? Like, no. I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing that game of taking random pieces that make sense in context to accept that whole situation about this being a crucifixion reference. It's not a crucifixion reference. Are there other crucifixion references? I mean, you could probably find more. We legitimately probably could find more, but I'm not taking that one. I think that one's a victim of you're trying to connect too many things. I don't hate her per se, but when she says that as an excuse for not wanting to do things. I did find the chapter though. It was chapter 270. For anyone that wants to look up what White Despair is talking about, chapter 270. Don't hate her per se, but when she says that as an excuse for not wanting to do things, a bit meh. Let's see. Leads in Shonen. I've heard good things about Jujukai female lead, but I haven't read it yet. She doesn't get a lot of screen time. I mean, Plotler made a video on why Hierarchy is basically a Greek mythology. Yeah? I'll have to look at that one as well. Noel's awesome for you, but that's a lot of the issues I read. I personally have no issue. He wasn't... Okay, got that. At Endeavor, they will avoid you at the stakes. Also, I find it funny that Asta notices Charlotte being tsundere towards Yami, but doesn't notice Noel being tsundere towards him. Or maybe he does. I think that's pretty funny. Speaking of Sims, I finally read a manga where the MC can compete with Kazuya from Rag. That's interesting. I know it's okay, though. They don't bother me. They're gonna hate. At least we don't have another Sakura in these new shonen series, so let's just be thankful for that. Agreed. Sakura was the worst female. T-pose, she dominance foreshadowed. Thoughts on Uraraka and others getting an awakening? Is awakening going to change their personality since quirks affect the users? Aguhad, give me a second. Charlotte, okay, let's see. Asta doesn't notice. I don't think I can ever get into one that. How do you catch up to that? You watch a lot of the anime specials. I wonder what Shinzo is during the war. He would have been useful, I'm sure. Maybe Miguel says maybe symbolizes the advent of the Antichrist. Yeah. I don't think the Antichrist has a redemption streak in him, though. I think the what's the mythology in the... Does the Antichrist have any kind of, like, salvation rhetoric on him? Because Shigaraki has a serious redemption streak here. With just the way that his mind tried to protect him from going to All For One. No reason to rush it. Charlotte is one whose character is literally based around liking Yam. That character is just as bad as Uraraka, in my opinion. The manga is called Idol to Otaku. Oh, okay. You read Jagan? Yeah, I read Jagan like a few months ago. I'm waiting for more chapters to pile up. The female MC is an evil yandere. You've been warned. Thanks, Black Fox. Okay, but going back to Aguhad here, my thoughts on Uraraka. I don't think awakenings would change the person's personality. Like, what do you guys think about that? I don't think an awakening would change the person's personality unless they had a quirk that was tied to their personality, like maybe Toga's or La Brava's. But Getten didn't change their personality. Bakugo's not going to change. Like, the guy that had the that figured out he could control black things when he jumped into them. Like, his personality is not going to change. No, I don't think awakenings change the majority of people's personalities unless their quirk has something to do with it. I think that's the safest thing to say about that particular situation. But if Ochako gets an awakening that lets her modify gravity on someone, I think that would be good. Because then if she can make gravity worse, well, you guys can all tell what's going to happen. She can actually be offensively viable. Did you read the recent Vigilantes? And seemingly a lot of people online found it hilarious that All For One plays with children's toys. You know what, White Despair? When I saw the children's toys, I thought that was him preparing to take Shigaraki, or maybe him playing with like Baby Nomu or something. Honestly, when I saw the children's toys, I was still very confused about the timeline. And then I just thought, like, you know, if he has children's toys lying around, that is not... That's not... That doesn't inspire any confidence in me. I'm getting ready to just be throttled. What if he's playing with Izuku's toys? If he's Izuku's dad? That'd be weird, man. Like, nah, that makes it more creepy than anything else. What do you think about it, White Despair? So what's going to happen with the idea of Eddie bring All Might back to his prime? Is that a thing that could happen, and would All Might even want that to happen? Quizzer, putting something up. You know, I feel I would love it if Eddie could bring All Might back to right before his body got pulverized by All for One. Because that would be great. I would love to see All Might, you know, it doesn't have to be powered up with all One for All, but I would love to see him just... I would love to see him healthy. Let's not let him be a skeleton for the rest of his life. You know, let's bring him back. He's a cool guy. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool if Eddie could do that. Now, the only way that the author could, like, maybe... the way that the author could balance it is by saying that Eddie doesn't have enough of a charge to undo, like, what? A bunch of years worth of damage. But then again, she was able to destroy her father. Like, and that was like, what, 30, 20... You know what, 20 years? Let's say 20 years of life. She was able to just eviscerate in one go with her quirk. So I hope he doesn't come up with an excuse like that. Oh, hey, Blurry. Trying to just do stuff here. That's a cool picture. Should probably pay attention, but we're fine. We're fine. Like, this is a level 74. We'll be fine. Okay, never mind. We're not fine. This is getting a little bit harder. Let's just dump him into the water. I think he'll drown right there. Great. He drowned. He drowned. That's great. Okay, let's see. I would, if she gets something similar to what Trafalgar Law has, like how room is a huge sphere, but instead of switching things around, she changes gravity, like in Decadence. Decadence was good. Decadence was really good. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty cool. I'm assuming he gets those from the doctor. It seems like he has the kind of things he would keep around a hospital. You're right. A children's hospital will definitely have it. Seems like season 4 is confirmed. I think All Might dies before getting the chance. If All Might dies before Eddie has the chance to fix him, then that kind of puts us on a time scale there, Edens. That's got to be really aggressive unless the author does some stupid excuses as to why Eddie can't have a build-up happen before that. For some reason, I don't see All Might dying. I don't know, it's just me. I think there's a good population of people that don't want All Might to die, you know? For me, it's like, I feel like he's being set up to die kind of thing. Of course, I'm all for no characters dying, as some people know. I would love for all characters to live, because I like the characters, right? Let me switch my party up real quick. I want to get more companion stuff. Companion experience. So Xinyan, yeah, like let's put in Xinyan so like we can get more of her friendship up. And then we'll go to the next one. I need to read my hero. I've been hearing about it, showing the first fight between All Might and All for One. I think it's gonna. What level are you at? I'm not at 50, but I'm beyond 45. So that's roughly where I'm at, Gohan. So if Eddie rewind people, wouldn't that affect their memories, knowledge, etc.? That means her quirk rewinds specific things like Izuku's wounds and Mirio's quirk factor. Actually, Miguel, I made a video about Eddie's quirk. I'm not telling you you need to watch it, but I did investigate. Like I did investigate those questions you were bringing up, like their memories. Eddie's quirk doesn't seem to affect memories. There was one example that I brought up, how the rate at which things were happening didn't make it seem like she was affecting memories. So because of that, There was one particular example that I could pull, but I don't remember which example I used in the video. But she definitely can't affect memories, Miguel. It kind of breaks one spot if she does. And I don't know if it actually can rewind. I think the memories are left alone in the same way that...
I'll catch up.
It's tough. It's tough. I think the memories are... Okay, so definitely her quirk has the capacity to target things because Shigaraki was... Oh, sorry, not Shigaraki. Shizaki was able to make it work to target only one thing when he extracted it and used chemicals on it. So I feel like, you know, to say like Eddie has hormones going in her. The hormones are what can signal the quirk to do what it needs to do. The fact that Shigaraki can control it with outside means does make me a little bit more confident that Eddie can one day be able to control things a little bit better. But yeah, nah. I don't think she affects memories in general. I do, however, I do want to believe that she targets specific things at times. But her like when she's using it on Izuku, she wasn't holding back any which way. So there's no reason to believe that she, well, you know, there's no reason to believe that she was targeting one specific thing when it came to Izuku. With Izuku, she might have just been doing a general time frame, or she was, you know, just reversing the actual time proper. Sorry if that one didn't come out properly. I have another cut in my mouth, and it's just making it a little bit hard to talk now. It's been a long night. For anyone wondering why I have so many cuts in my mouth, it's because I get punched in the face a lot. And also because of like, just bad eating habits. Makes it worse.
Someone needs assistance.
Go over here. Let's see. And we're still in the year where his death is predicted, so we're not out of danger zone yet. All Might is just info dumping lately. Best to end him if he can't be more useful. Also good news, my Luffy Boundman finger came in. Bad news, the base came broken in half. No, Black Fox, no. I was about to get excited. No, Black Fox. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. Kara's had a few of her figures come in broken, and these things are so expensive, man. Like shit, man. What are your thoughts, Trip, on the recent chapter bringing focus tomorrow? It's feeling saying that the heroes better have comments for tomorrow, saying there won't be a tomorrow. Do you think something big may happen tomorrow that prevents the heroes from giving their comments, or something else along those lines? That would imply there's a soul realm in Hero Academia. I think there's a soul realm in Hero Academia. I think 100% there's a soul realm in Hero Academia. I think Hero Academia definitely has mass unconscious, because when it comes to the quirks, guys, think about it. Ending's quirk targets white paint on roads. Think about how meta of a quirk that is. That quirk doesn't exist without white paint on roads. Or maybe it's white paint in general. I don't remember. But... And the fact that Ida has jet engines, a man-made production in his body, there's no way around it. I feel like the Hero Academia world works on mass unconscious. And mass unconscious would justify why so many people have such artificial quirks. But I'm just bringing it up for Miguel. If there's not a soul realm, there's at least a mental realm, which we know is true because we've seen the mental realm when it comes to the one for all users. But there's a mental realm, and in the case of the mental realm, I do feel legitimately that we could play semantics, and we can just say, oh yeah, you know, if it's a mental realm, can you really say this isn't a soul? You know, if I was playing devil's advocate, I'd definitely be annoying about it. I'd definitely be able to argue a really disingenuous argument to justify it. But going back to White Despair. White Despair, this is a really interesting thought that you brought up here. White Despair, again, always interested in your ideas. And of course, I'm interested in everyone's ideas. But looking at this situation here, that's interesting. First off, I think in general, I think everyone's unreasonable. Like everyone that's saying that the heroes better have a statement about this tomorrow, it's like, no, no, the heroes don't owe you anything, man. Like the heroes just had the Public Safety Commission should have, yeah, actually, That's my stance. The Public Safety Commission should be the ones to have something to answer here, because as far as I'm concerned, the Public Safety Commission are the ones that pulled off this entire operation. Like, think about how insane it is to ask for the employees to answer for their boss's mistakes. No, man, like when a company messes up, you don't hear from the engineers, you hear from the CEO. I want the Public Safety Commission to have a statement about that. The fact that those people could even ask for a statement considering how bad things are, it's like, these are the people that have nothing, that weren't affected by the situation. I'm not a fan of it. Now, when it comes to like the narrative stuff that you're bringing up here, White Despair, if we're looking at narrative and All For One is saying tomorrow's never gonna come, and we're using the tomorrow that the people are invoking in terms of the heroes, well, just with that, I feel like, shit, you know, actually, we might have a big situation that prevents people from even looking at the TV. White Despair, that definitely makes me think about things a little bit differently here. Yeah, man. I think definitely by that logic, something that prevents the heroes for sure, but that might also prevent a lot of the population. Like, if All For One gets out of there, he can somehow nuke the whole situation. That would be very, very... Like, if he could cause massive destruction in one go... Actually, if he has Shigaraki's body, he could cause massive destruction in one go. Oh, this is gonna suck. Charlotte doesn't revolve around Yami nearly as bad as Uraraka for Izuku. I find the chemistry for characters in Black Clover strengthen personal growth rather than revolving around someone else. Yeah, they Black Clover, they definitely build each other up, but Ochako does build herself up from observing Izuku. It's just, I think Ochako gets a worse rap because she's the kind of person that tells Toga her problems. I think Little Rat, I think I'd be a little bit nicer to Ochako personally. Wouldn't Deku have forgotten her quirk when he went all out if the memories are tampered? Yes, Sarge. I think he would have. Yeah, Yami and Rosalie would make a great pair for me. Their interact, that sucks, man. Monoma is another character who has so much potential, but it seems wasted for comedy. Agreed, L. Actually, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that one, L. Oh shit, where am I? One second, guys. I just lost where I was on the spots. Let's see. Okay, there we go. What happened for the punch strip? Oh no, don't worry, random. It's just like light sparring. That's all it was. I just got hit a lot more because whenever okay, back in my sparring history and like light sparring kind of stuff, I sputter out about 45 seconds into the 2-minute fight because of bad endurance. I'm working on it, but I'm not made for long fights anyway. So I just get, you know, sometimes I just slip and I just get hit. Well, you can see it that way if you want, but I still find her no, don't like her. Trip, you need to explain, so you're biting yourself a lot. I should be wearing my mouth guard more. That's the big thing. It does wait on the response for the come. Okay. Have they explained where quirks come from yet, Trip? No, they haven't. Did you all see the translation error? The civilian saying Endeavor has no money, but it's supposed to be them saying they themselves have no money to move away, but the page just showed Endeavor. Yes, L, I saw it. Oh, it bothered me so much. We go Naruto route all over again. We better not meet the mother of quirks. I hit these trio right here. Also, Pokemon. Oh, god damn it. Pokemon said something along the lines of Astropod might give more info on him. Oh, nice. Bro, Astropod being in the next movie kind of scares me, to be honest. LOL. How can they give status when most of them are dead or very injured? But I hope the Enema box of Vanguard becomes playable in Genshin Impact. That'd be cool, right? Actually, like, I see a couple of them. It's like, I'd be cool to have like 3-star characters being just NPCs that we see. That'd be neat. I would love to play as a Hilichurl. Okay, so what if man-made prod-based are just represented that way for aesthetic, but let's say Ida's engines are organs that happen to look like engines? I mean, Miguel, I'm into it. I'm into it. Like, made out of a material similar to bone, so they wouldn't look too clean and look that clean in real life. I mean, like, I'd be into it, definitely. But when you people say when Hero Academia says the man has jet engines in his legs, it's like, shit, man, what the heck? But actually, Miguel, I would be more into your suggestion, honestly. I thought Ash was just going to mention his father or something. I didn't think they would actually show his character. Oh yeah, Black Clover is now in time skip, and it was so good. It's like watching One Piece time skip right after the pre-time skip episode. Wasn't Monoma created because the author made a callback to an annoying person in his past? Oh, I'll have to look into that, Ray. Yeah, true. Isn't that bad? I was kind of over. I do like her tactical rules, as you said before. Yeah, no, I get it a little rad. Like, you know, when we're talking about characters, it's easier to talk about like you know, what they ultimately feel like to you. Even though, like, when you think about it, it might you be able to like walk back a little bit. Like when I say like Dobby is like a just giant pile of burning garbage, it's like, well, not really. He's not a giant pile of burning garbage. He's just a giant pile of burning flesh. Which you could like say like it's essentially garbage, but you know, to each their own. 6-month time skip, Mother Quirk. I thought Gentle and the Bravo would make an appearance. Open Arms. I was really hoping for it too. Everyone else got to make an appearance. Gentle's friend made an appearance, or sorry, the hero, Gentle's classmate made an appearance, but no Gentle. I was sad. Time skip and Black Clover is over. People can be happy. 9 Quirk Deku versus Light Baby when. He's gonna lose, boy, man. He's gonna lose. I know it's far-fetched for Ochako to be dropped as the main, but if you could choose her replacement, who do you think it would be? It should be. Eri. Make Eri the replacement. Make Hero Academia a story, like a coming of age. Nah, make Hero Academia like a buddy cop story, like Shark that's currently running in Shonen Jump. You know, make Izuku have to take care of Eri. Make it like a coming of age story for Izuku where he takes care of a child and Eri becomes like his daughter kind of thing. We know that those kind of stories happen, like Somali and the Forest Spirit. It'll work. But otherwise, like a serious thing, Momo. Momo is the one that really has to be the other main female character. It's the only character it's the female character that Horikoshi is succeeding with right now. Mina could potentially work, but the problem is Mina has too much of Izuku's own rhetoric. So Mina and Izuku, it'd be a little bit harder to differentiate them during heroic moments because they'd be on the same path line because of Mina's origins compared to Izuku's origins. Jiro is too much of a secondary character. You know what? Let's go crazy. Pony. Make Pony the main female character. Oh, that'd be. Or you know what? Like Animamus likes Melissa, right? Let's bring in Melissa. I've been waiting months to see the man Asta ride his sword like Nimbus in the anime. I heard it was just Ash mentioning his dad in the new movie, probably related to the father-son relationship with Zorad and Coco have. Okay, I feel like Ash even mentioning his dad would be the biggest talking point. Wait, guys, in the first 5 episodes of the Pokemon anime, Ash mentioned his dad. They said like Ash's dad had gone on a journey too or something, right? Or am I misremembering? I might be misremembering. I'll clarify. I'll go watch the first couple episodes of the Pokemon anime and I'll let you know. Remember when Mustard said that even with quirks, the human body is still as fragile as normal? That's why he carried guns. But then we have people surviving crazier shit, shown in logic. Pretty much, right? Light Baby takes over all for one like Kaguya and Madara. Trip off topic, but if you haven't seen the anime Banana Fish, I highly recommend it, although it's a dark series with hairy topics. I know about Banana Fish. I haven't gotten to watch it yet. 10:30. It's almost 10:30. Alright, Season 2 of Beastars Thursday. Light Baby is the stage of 6 pass. I mean, it's the origin, isn't it? It's the origin. Oh, no. No. It's Light Baby's mother. Think about it. If Light Baby is the sage of 6 pass, then the mother, the first person who had a mutation that provoked a quirk, the first person that like gave birth to a quirk, actually she gave birth, that kid was already lit up inside of her. She's the one that created that allowed for that mutation to happen. It's the mother. Oh god, Kaguya's in this world. Oh no. I saw Melissa in the run for the new heroine. I'm really thinking you might have like obsession with Pony. Huh. Yeah. Maybe. Shit. Maybe. It's because I think she's cute and adorable. She's the only one that can rival Izuku's fanboyism for All Might. Like she has the All Might special edition, the American special edition that Izuku covets. Izuku asked to go to her room. I think there's a lot of chemistry here. I think you can have these two geeks just like have a fun time talking about All Might. I think we're just missing out. I think the Hero Academia volumes, the novel volumes, are doing a much better job of getting Izuku actually talking to a girl in a slightly healthy way. Right? Again, I love that Izuku asked to go to Pony's room. Like, that's such a big step for the kid, man. I don't know, man. Like if I had a boy, and he was like Izuku, God willing, because Izuku's actually a pretty cool kid. I would love it if he told me like, hey, yeah, Dad, I told this girl I wanted to go to her room, and I'm like, what? He's like, oh yeah, she has a cool toy that I've never seen before. He's like,
Is there time
oh,
for a quick snack?
I hope it's a, oh yeah, sure, right? It's cute, it's cute, it's adorbs, it's adorbs, man. Mr. Mime went on a journey. Oh, isn't Mr. Mime like the guy's? Isn't Mr. Mime Ash's dad? I really like Mr. Mime in the recent season in the anime. I still like her with the other. I still remember the old theory that Natsuo was Getten before they revealed his face. That would have been kind of cool, but yeah, I think I remember hearing that theory too well. Never mind, we are definitely obsessed. You think so, man? White this fair? Wait, no, man. I was talking more about Izuku on that one. No, man. I'm not definitely obsessed. Izuku's obsessed, man. Like I'm not anywhere near Izuku. You're taking a piss on me, man. Like, nah. I'm okay. Pony's okay. No, I think it's adorable. I think Pony and Izuku together legitimately are adorable. I'm not fully on the Melissa train, but maybe that's something that I could get on in the future. I do need to rewatch that first movie, just to see what anime Miss and the rest of you guys like so much about Melissa. I did like Melissa in the team up manga chapters. Like that was pretty neat. Where is the other? I know I haven't done all of them yet. Where are my other commissions? Yeah, I like Melissa, but I think Froppy fits better as the main heroine replacement. As popular as Momo is, she gives off tertiary vibes for me. Oh, where is this? Where are we going? Complete the challenge. Where is that challenge? Oh, it's over here. Oops. You got a point there, man. Momo does have secondary vibes, and that's the big issue, right? Suyu, though, like I think so much damage has been done to Suyu by not using her more often that I'm not sure. Then again, Izuku was thinking of Suyu's tongue in that very critical moment when he was fighting Shigaraki. And I know I'm saying that out of context, but that's definitely something I could use to misconstrue an argument about Suyu being Izuku's one and only. That'd be funny. That'd be funny more than not. Okay, you know what? Yeah, like right now, Izuku's thinking more about Suyu's tongue than he's thinking about Ochako's tongue, and that might be the big sign there. I can make a lot of jokes about that. Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna make a lot of jokes about this in general whenever I'm talking about Izuku, the man that thought of Suyu's tongue when he was in the middle of a life and death situation. Yeah, that would be a funny out of context joke. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks guys. Like yeah, you guys were here for the birth of a joke. Excellent. That's gonna be a new thing on the videos. Thanks guys. And I maybe said I like Melissa, but I think okay, no, I got that. In which healthy relationship is common ground for both parties a crippled man? In which healthy relationship the common ground for both parties a crippled man? A lot. When the crippled old man was a guy that used to be famous. Like think about it. How many people bond over some decrepit old musician that they both liked, right? How many people bond over music? How many people bond over world leaders? How many people bond over Mother Teresa? I can't imagine a lot, but maybe a couple in the Christian community do. Yeah, no, actually, what we're looking at here, Miguel, is having shared interests, and when you have shared interests from two super fans, that's actually a lot of common ground. The only thing here is that both of them get to meet their idol, which makes it a little bit weird. But I don't think that'd be too bad. Let's see. This reminds me of the interaction with the MC of Death Mage with the waifus. Many times he openly flirts with them and makes them blush. Oh, that's adorable. Trip is fine, we get it. Thanks, Random. You're in denial, Trip. I am always in denial. We don't judge. Yeah, so your characters are at 80, right? Gohan, yeah. If you want to see my setup here, Gohan, I pretty much just use Noel, and I just recently like powered up a Nemo Traveler. Child's still at 70 because I haven't gotten the materials for him, and Fischl just recently got it to 60. Like, I'm doing most of the content with only Xiang Ling powered up to level 80, and then everyone else just kind of straggles. Lisa, I need to get her to 80 because Lisa works better at a high level for Overload. But otherwise, yeah, no. Most of them are 80. What about female Buggy from Class B? Female Buggy from Class B is pretty cool. I would love to see more interactions with her in Bakugo. Natsu versus Dobby, yo. Natsu isn't gonna fight him, man. Like, I feel bad for Natsu because if Dobby shows up in front of him, the poor guy's gonna be just heartbroken. Izuku X Eri, Izuku X Ponygirl, Izuku X Momo. Maybe not Izuku X Eri unless they're really old. That's like when Izuku's like well into it. Like we did the equation before. That's like when Izuku's 30 and Eri's 23, maybe. Maybe he needed a mental image for the Black Whip to materialize. As much as Hardcore Hero Academia gets shit from the anime community, you gotta admit it's fun debating and talking about. Oh, definitely, Dark. Definitely. 100%. It's super fun to talk about. As long as it doesn't get toxic, right? We should always be able to stop before saying someone's ship is stupid. I mean, some ships are stupid. Like Izuku in his shoes, definitely stupid. But, you know, it's okay to have fun. Like if I was to say, yeah, I ship Izuku and who's someone ridiculous? Who is someone ridiculous that just would never work? Izuku and She-Mage? No. I think that one people already ship because She-Mage came in with a lot of oomph. Like if I said I ship Izuku with Koda or something like that, it's like, Chip, that's stupid. Koda doesn't do anything in the story. It's like, yeah, you're right. That is a stupid one. But it'd be okay if it was that level of stupid instead of just flame wars. Like, we never want to be in a situation where people are sending death threats to an author because their ship didn't come true, right? And that's where we gotta stop. Speaking of tongues, Vaughn uses his tongue in Death Mage. Nice. Let's be real, Chip. You absolutely were not out of context there. You explained it exactly as it was. I mean, Izuku is all about using mental images to control his girl. We had the egg in the mud, then the takoyaki. I mean, yeah, we could justify it, right? Like, Miguel's the one adding the context here. Not gonna lie, she kind of made the... Okay, no, that's Black Fox. But yeah, no, man. L, I agree with you. I liked Izuku with Tsuyu at the beginning as well, but then that kind of fizzled out. So, that was my favorite ship. But now I can't say it's my favorite ship anymore. Actually, right now I was rooting for Aizawa and Midnight, but I guess now I'm rooting for Aizawa and Miss Joke. Mineta was thinking of Tsuyu's acid vomit though. Oh, Mineta's into dark. Mineta's into dark things. Tokage for 10th user. Okay. Izuku focuses his one for all in his fingers, in his tongue, and in his PP. It would make him literally one for all, if you know what I mean. Yes, Dark. I wish Uraraka had a crush on Bakugo instead. El, I feel like with Uraraka and Bakugo's current interactions, she could slip into just being... Like, she could slip into, like, a really sublime kind of romance. Not like one of those high school romances, but, like, one of those romances, like, you're 23... You're older, you come together one day and you talk about your life, and then you're like, well, shit, like, I get you and you get me a lot, right? It'd be like a reconnection kind of romance instead of the really fiery high school romances. I'd be all in for that. I'd actually be in for more mature takes on relationships within shonen manga, but we haven't gotten that yet. We're not there yet. Maybe in a way We Never Learn pushed for it, sort of, with its epilogue chapters, but we need to see it in Battle Shonen. I'm going to rewatch Log Horizon for third season. I think I'm going to do the same, but good night, Blurry. Well, the MC Van in Deathmage has a harem at age 10. Okay. I need to read this, Gohan. Please tell me the name again. It's Deathmage Doesn't Want a Fourth Time or something like that. Gohan, tell me the name again. How dare you mock the one true ship that is Izuku in his shoes. Ah, I found the supporter. I found you. Izuku shoes, top 10 character in My Hero Academia. Someone tried to tell me Shigi and Ochako because both their powers involve using all 5 fingers, at least before Villain Academia. I've seen that before as well, Edens. We should team up sometime in the game. Sure, Gohan, maybe. I don't know. I don't like playing with other people. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of it, but maybe, Gohan. I'll think about it. What are your artifacts? Oh, yeah, sure. I can show you, Gohan, what I was working on. So I'm still working on my project here. But I pretty much have just a gladiator on Xiangling. Oh, Xiangling. So I recently got them to 20. So it's just pretty much all the attack stats. This is just purely attack stats. As you can see, I still have room for improvement. But that's pretty much what I did. And the weapon is also leveled up. So that's how I got to that high number. Once you have like the attack stats rolling well, you'll get to those numbers as well, Gohan. Imagine if Izuku, when using full Imagine Uraraka in her skin suit, feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Huh. I mean, when he does, I will definitely make jokes about that as well. It's just like, the reason I brought up the thing about Izuku thinking about Suyu's tongue during a very deadly situation is because that's how the Bakugo Kirishima shippers sometimes play around with that ship. Because they say stuff like, Bakugo has ridden Kirishima in their prose and all that kind of stuff, and what they're referencing is obviously the sports festival, but it's funny, right? It's legitimately funny when you're hearing out of context statements. It's like, yeah, actually, Bakugo has ridden Kirishima. That is legitimately funny. Izuku X Mandalay or Izuku X Miracle. I'm into it. Van has killed people with his tongue. I liked Izuku with Mei. Their geekiness bounced off of each other and made me think if Izuku didn't get one for all, they'd end up being a support student to make gear Batman style. Yeah, actually Izuku and Mei is a strong ship in the community. I'm for it as well. We both sent for Deku. Only 5 ships matter to Izuku aside from his shoes. Oh god, you guys really adopted his shoes. Izuku X Ochako, Suyu, Toga, Kami, Melissa. Oh, Kami! Really? Is that what people are feeling? But the Kami interactions with Izuku all came from Toga. Interesting. LMAO. Mei would give Izuku so many sleepless nights with her experiments, and Izuku would give her so many sleepless nights with his examination of heroes, I'm sure. The Death Mage doesn't want a 4th time. Okay, I got it close. Okay, so I'm gonna put that ahead of things because Gohan sold me on it. I'll see how I feel about it. But Gohan sold me on it. I thought the shit was Deku with the notes. Wow, Chip, I love the idea on the mature. I wish My Hero Academia had a bit more romance, but it's okay. I understand that's not the point of it. You know, L, for me, I would like it if like the supplementary materials had more of it. Like Vigilantes, if Vigilantes had more of it, that'd be cool. And I don't need the kids. If people feel uncomfortable showing relationships within the between the kids, that's totally fine. Like, just show me the mature heroes. I would love to know what Aizawa is doing. Like, I don't want to be in a situation where everyone in Hero Academia is following trend with Japan and everyone is too busy to have relationships because they have really aggressive jobs. I just thought it'd be cool to see. And if they did the light novel volumes, they tend to have a chapter where they feature all the teachers sitting down for a beer. And it's really fun. It's really fun seeing what kind of drunk Aizawa is. I think he's a forceful drunk. Yamada's an interesting drunk. I think Ectoplasm, when he starts drinking, starts wanting to go to karaoke a lot. And I think one of them... Oh, Cementos gets super friendly. He's a super friendly drunk. And it was just so fun to read about those interactions, right? I think throwing it in there was just like the teachers going out on dates, like Aizawa and Miss Joke going out on a date. I think that would be totally fine. I know maybe they think that that's not the target market, but I don't know anymore, man. I would love to read more about that kind of stuff. That's cool. And I get it. Like, the main audience probably doesn't care, but there's like the other side of the audience that does legitimately feel okay with side stories. Better yet, Izuku would have danger sense constantly going off around Mei when she gets an idea. That'd be hilarious. Still working on stuff. The meme I sent you was a My Hero Academia one. Gotcha, Master Grade. I don't have my phone nearby, man, so I'll look at it later, man. I'll send you a message when I see it. Izuku and Katsudan is a better ship than his shoes. Wait, is this Katsudan his favorite food? Because he wants victory? I'm a Hawks Endeavor shipper. Nice, L. Nice. Do you get any flack from the Dobby X Hawks shippers? I did a video covering Hawks Endeavor, and one of the things that I did see when I was doing my research is just how vicious the fights are between them and the Dobby X Hawks shippers. It's funny that Izuku Kami is the thing because of another character's crush. Heard redo of Healer is gonna definitely cause some Twitter outrage. I am waiting for the Sultan Rage to laugh at. Me too. I'm currently power leveling Bennett. Oh, that's a good character, Gohan. Let's see. Yeah, Kami is good with Shoto or Bakugo, I think. I think Bakugo for sure. It's as dark as Goblin Slayer episode 1 was. Oh, no. No, 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 no. This is different. This is different. Because the rapage in Goblin Slayer episode 1 was the goblins on the people. This is different. This is very different, Revenant. The person committing the rapage is not a goblin. I don't want to spoil it too much. I agree with Random Trainer. It does make Goblin Slayer look tame in some regards. It's a little like it's a lot more disturbing than Goblin Slayer, because Goblin Slayer's excuse is that they're goblins. You don't have that excuse for the unfortunate things that happen here. I hopefully will get more 5-star. Okay. Let's say one situation involves aphrodisiacs and gender bending, unfortunately. So there's going to be rape or something like that. Cementos needs tons of painkillers after his fight with Get. Oh, Terry. Hey, Terry. Yeah, agreed. Imagine the interaction between the two when Izuku explains to Kami what Toga did to him with her appearance. That'll be funny. It's pretty messed up. You'll see plenty of arguments on why the MC is either in the right or wrong for his actions. You know, honestly, when it comes to this situation, I think we have to say, like, the safest thing to say is that the guy is wrong, but everyone sucks here, right? Like, I think that's the safest thing. I think if you try to get into the territory of saying this MC is correct in any which way, if you get into that territory, things just become too much. It becomes too much problems, right? Because at that point we have to talk about to what degree is revenge justified. You know, that really carnal aspect of human nature is going to say, like, yeah, rip him apart. The same way that the people say that Endeavor should die for his actions, it's like you could apply, you know, that rhetoric to the people the MC is targeting. But as we know, the people that are saying that Endeavor should die for his actions, they're not right. They're not correct. No. So that's why I would say, when it comes down to arguing it, you're better off saying that this guy is in the wrong, but, you know, given all these situations, you can see why he does the thing he does, and then the arguments start becoming, for this particular instance of bad behavior that the MC is pushing, is he justified in doing it, or is he becoming the thing he hates, right? That's where I think the interesting discussions can be had. But I don't think we should be arguing for him being in the right. We can argue for him having his revenge, but him being in the right, I think it's just, you know, it's a little bit, it's to save you more stress, right? It's better just to start from bad and work your way up, as opposed to start from good and defend that position. It's not going to work out in the long run, I think. Yeah, I saw some of the manga. Don't spoil everything. 2 girls and a guy was on his team. Wait, just Spidey Sense. I can't wait for Twitter's reaction at the first episode. I want to see how they do Mushoku Tensei because of the MC's father. Yeah, that's... I'm interested as well. Dolby X Hawks is beautiful. The legendary KFC ship. Yeah. Yeah. Not sure who knows about the one in the chat. I'm gonna enjoy Mushoku Tensei Rapage. One of the waifus in Mushoku Tensei I don't like though. Yep. So basically a darker version of Shield Hero. Shield Hero got shit too because of the bitch being portrayed as an evil person. I mean, she's evil, Dark. She is legitimately evil, right? But yeah, pretty much this is... So this one was made after Shield Hero had its web novel like really be a thing. So just for people that don't know, Shield Hero and Mushoku Tensei, they are like the big web novels that were done like in 2011, 2012. They like, them getting an anime was actually a really big deal for those early adopters of these long form web novels. So when we look at this current one that's coming out, Redo of Healer, this is in the new era of pushing even more boundaries. So yes, Shield Hero was pretty much like the kind of story that pushed this story out further. Or, you know, like, it might have been a situation people saw that story and then they came in here and they wanted to push more boundaries, right? Think Berserker levels of dark. Um, just viciously hate and yeah, well, people just viciously. I ship Hawks with Dobby too, so I'm both. But the problem with it and Hawks for most people is the age gap. But isn't that better than dating a mass murderer? Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm too much of a boomer, but this whole age gap thing doesn't make sense to me. Like people date like aggressively across age gaps. We all know they do this. Like a 50-year-old man might be dating a 23-year-old. This happens. I don't understand why age gaps are such a big problem when they're all adults. And again, maybe it's because like I grew up in a different culture. Maybe it's because I grew up in a different time. But I don't see the I understand it's creepy when you have a 20 age gap with a 20-year-old dating a 40-year-old. Like I understand the problems there, especially because at 20 years old you're still kind of growing. Maybe at 25 and at 45, but not a big deal for me. But that might be again influence from different culture. People complain about how messed up stuff in the web. Japan is like, you haven't seen nothing yet. Releases the anime coming this year. Yeah, pretty much. The meme is touching what you were talking about. Gotcha, Master Gray. A moment. She got hey Prower. Almost. She got almost nothing on some of the characters in Redo, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, Edens. From Mushoku stuff involving cheating and bad parenting to the anime with you're talking about. Yeah. Would be funny if Deku's love interest was based on who... Oh, hey, Matthew. Who is the most popular girl by a particular poll. For example, if the poll, then Momo would become his girlfriend. That'd be good. Or, you know, I think I've heard that the Dan Machi author did a poll. And because of the poll, he's doing a what-if route with Ryu. I heard that was the rumor. I don't know if that's true, but if someone knows Dan Machi, confirm that for me. I think that'd be cool. I think a what-if route would be really cool. From which... Okay, let's see. I am very much looking even more forward to this series now. I am too. OMG, so lucky you got Xiangling. No, Leah, like she was for free. She was available for free. So not really lucky, just ended up getting her. Although I have gotten a lot of her because my constellations are relatively high. If I had a fairy godparent, I would explore so many. Oh, there's Dark Lord. So many animes and screw up a war more times than Timmy. Grandfather Isekai, yeah, bad parent. I'm waiting to get Xiangling. Amber is kind of hard to do up front fighting since she's an archer. Yeah, Leah. Like, my Amber, I just use her specifically for very niche situations. Something should Batman kill and be like criminals he fights or let them go in and out the revolving door known as Arkham Asylum. I think Batman should put people into comas. I think that's a healthy compromise. For Batman, that's probably the healthiest compromise he's going to get. Also, the wife is like... So what do you think about the upcoming New Heroes banner for Fire Emblem Heroes? Prower, I haven't checked it. I'm still trying to get the banner right now that has a bunch of the New Year units on it. Prower? I haven't, so... Sorry, Prower, I can't talk to you about it. People be complaining about age, yet your parents have like a 5 to 10 year age gap. Yeah, pretty much. My parents have a 10 to 11 years age gap, so I'm not... That's not a big deal. Yeah, the West is crazy right now. A lot of BS lately. 3 different versions of the same season as like 3 different seasons. Speaking of shipping, would you accept your favorite ship happening, Mineta Momo, if your most hated ship also happens? Okay, I would take it. Yeah, I mean, like I don't really have that. My most hated ship is Izuku and All Might, technically, because it's so gross. So, but even then, I'd welcome it because it's going to be interesting to see how bad the fandom reacts. Because they were indoctrinated to believe those kind of relations are abusive, as the older part may have power over the younger one. They're just projecting. Oh, yeah. I don't like. It's just the problem is also we gotta look at it from a perspective of like biologically, men are still capable of producing kids even well into their 70s, right? So if you have a situation where your wife dies and you're in like your 50s, if you're a fit guy, you probably still have biological drives to go after someone. And if you can go after someone that's younger and they are okay with you, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes down anyway. Mind you, I say biological incentives, but there's a lot more incentives that happen at that kind of dichotomy of age. Usually because at 50 years old, if you're attractive enough to date, chances are you have some degree of success. And financial security is still a factor for some people on both sides of the genders, both for males and females. Financial security is still a factor for people. Even legend manga I found could be pretty violent too. Okay. If Twitter exploded.
Hmm.
Wait. Shoot, I missed someone. If Twitter exploded because of Uzaki, Nagatoro is going to be a delight to see trigger so many people. I got 5-star character, but not the one I want. Yeah, I don't mind the gap either. Not a big problem because he idolized Enji from a young age. People think it's kind of weird. People always point this out, like, I don't know. Oda married a cosplay actress, that like a woman that cosplayed Nami. I'm sure that she idolized Oda to some degree. Like sometimes people marry their fans. It happens. They have twins now. That's it's just part of life, man. I'm one constellation off from completing Sucrose. Whoa, Ray, that's really cool. Naga looks like a kid. Amber needs a rework buff because so many people have trouble using her, and it takes a lot of work to make her viable. Well, Master Gray, actually, like, I think the fact that it takes a lot of work to make her viable, she's a free character. I don't really expect much more from her. Like, she works for my situations. I was able to clear some of the Spiral Abyss using her, so I'm quite alright. And I like the idea of characters that take some degree of effort to make work. I think ideally all characters should be like this instead of characters that are just powerful out of the box. But that's my own personal opinion on it. You know, different needs. Another reason people hate Endeavor Hawks is because they don't like the idea of Enji moving on and being happy with someone new who loves him. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, see ya, Dark. And it was fun having you here too. Yeah, Japan doesn't really care much about the West likes or dislikes at this point. Points to a regular at Magic High School. Does the West not like a regular Magic High School? Go on. I'm on my iPad, so my game glitches out like every 2 to 3. Oh, that sucks, Leah. That sucks. The little ice female has a tag on her head. Little ice. Oh, Chi-Chi. Oh, that's a good one though. Uzaki looks like a baby to them too, but all the arc fixing her because of her boobs was just crazy. Yeah, no, like, Uzaki looking like a baby is like saying the majority of anime characters are baby. Like, Uzaki is Uzaki. Have you seen, like, I don't know, people pointed out, like, a picture of one of some cosplay lady or something like that. I don't know, some lady, some Japanese lady. And it's like, yes, the Asians look very young. Asians look very young to Western eyes, in general, even though they're adults. Like, I think Uzaki should have just been left alone. The reality is, complaining about Uzaki only made the show more profitable. I wish people would realize that the best thing they can do about something they don't like is to not talk about it. Like, honestly, that would save so much time. That would get rid of so many things that we don't like. If that was true, then there's hope for Deku Miracle, since she's coming up in popularity, and she will when season 6 happens in the anime. She may also get more screen time soon. I hope she does. I want Momo Mineta to happen just despite the fandom. Like, I could make one ship happen. It would be Mineta Momo despite the fandom. That'd be funny. I'm all for getting the fandom annoyed. Bakugo and Kirishima would make me jump off a building on live television. Please don't, Death Ray. Please don't. Oh, Jesus. There's a lot. Okay, let me go through all the comments. God. I think that, okay, 35-year-old man with 19-year-old girl. Both legal so everyone can suck a lemon. Yep. I hate Mineta, but Momo X Mineta would be hilarious. Have no books to even level. Oh, that's unfortunate. Mineta is useless. He's an annoying perv. When you marry a fan, then that's clearly the best fan. But yeah, Mushoku Tensei had some stuff. It should be interesting how they handle the anime. Agreed. I'm your biggest fan to the next level. Yeah. Ruby needs a reboot done right this time. It started off with so much potential before it went to shit. If Momo X Mineta happens, I want him to have a drastic change after a time skip. If he's the same height but older, honestly, it'd be hilarious. Her HP scaling is terrible at the higher levels of content. Also, I see the hidden dungeons I can only enter would be interesting anime-wise. I'm assuming that they're referring to Mahoka's ending. Oh, I haven't watched the final episode yet. What I don't think Mineta is useless at all. If anything, Toru has been the most useless. What I mean is with the media and some people with Tatsuya and Miyuki relationship. I mean, I'm not... Okay, this is just a general point, and I think you guys have heard this before. but I'm not a I'm not a fan of the propaganda that goes on with promoting little sister relationships. Like Mahoka is different because Mahoka does something. It has something to justify it, but it's still like I can see what you're doing, right? But it's when I read We Never Learn and I see people saying like I want to see a little sister route. It's like no, no, no. You people are crazy. You people are no. I know it would be funny, but no, I'm not promoting little sister routes, man. I'm not promoting little sister routes at all. Again, Mahoka's a little bit different because of what Mahoka does. But I'm not I wish this wasn't a trend. I wish we weren't fetishizing sisters. When you have an anime that's talking about like all I want is a little sister, or like that anime about that guy that was a light novelist, and the way that he wrote his little sister, how fetishized she was. I know it's leaning into the fetish, but at the same time it's like no, this is weird. This is not weird. This is highly inappropriate. Nah, I'm okay saying weird. I'm not into it. I wish it wasn't a trend, but what can you do? To really mess with fans, Hody should have Endeavor go to Izuku's house and smash his mom so hard it resets the series. Holy crap, Terry. Babyface is the thing, especially in Asia. Yep, right. 7 Deadly Sins, another season. Hopefully this time around things won't be as censored as bad. And we're getting the new 7 Deadly Sins sequel this year. If not, this month. But it says something different on that Mahoka thread. Amber is finding lower levels. Thank you for getting on my Mineta Momo hype train. Whoever said it. Yeah, Terry, you got a lot of support. I would love to get more Noels. And also to piggyback off your Oda shot. The writer of Oh My Goddess married someone he was 20 years older than. Oh, good. That's alright. Whatever. You know, if it works, it works. Amber is good for low level ice or water enemies. Nah, man. I take Amber up to use her against my Amber is like low level. I use her against the level 70, 80 Fatui guys because they have annoying shields, and Amber has like the most on-demand fire of my current characters. Remember when they made a big fuss over the way Hori drew Momo in some cover spreads? Guy, yeah, this is all the time. Trip versus the Comics round 2. The reason I left earlier was because I had to get caught up to the Promised Neverland. Okay, gotcha, Direct Lord. No, the light novel ending, Trip. Oh! What was the problem with light novel ending? I think it was like, I think I read the summary recently. It was Tatsuya and Miyuki. Like, yeah, whatever. Since Mineta is Horikoshi's favorite, maybe he'll reward him something after the comedic suffering. Noelle is fine. She's definitely underrated. Guys, let me show you my Noelle. Actually, when it comes to Noelle, whenever I'm having a really bad day, I just kind of switch over to her. Because her and her 2000 defense, I can just tank the majority of hits for a couple of seconds. And it's like, oh, this is great. She's a breather character. Like, my Noelle is so good right now. I'm so happy with her. Did you know that Monster has beta on Germany trip? Yes, Master Gray, I do. Do you have the snow part yet? I forgot what it's called, but it's really hard to get the statue of the 7 in the snowy area. Yes, Leah, I do. The Dragon Spine Mountain. I do have it. I think it would be neat if the reason Deku gets with someone else is because Ochako assumed they would happen and way too long and one more people interested swooped in and got him. I think that would be so realistic. I'd be into it. Never watched Orimo, but I heard it's the one where the little sister wins. Great. Amagami and Furukano were the only series I let the little sister thing slide. Okay. Because they set up the context for the adoption thing. Okay, fair enough. Also, in regular Magic High School, there are a few characters that the readers end up turning on. You mean for you? Is it for Yumi? Funny enough, Trip, the series with novelist little sister fetish, everyone was telling him that was wrong, but he ignored them. Yeah. Prower, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think I am pretty close to ending here. Gonna sleep. Let me just go through the last little bit of comments. I did want to... Oh god, it's 11 o'clock here. 5 minutes. Guys, let's call it 5 minutes. Gonna rush through this. How much longer would the stream go? I have over 1,100 attack with Noelle. Oh, that's cool. Yes, the sister did win when the best girl did confess to him. Life would be easier if we had Noelle as our maid. Yep. Also, welcome back, Skelly. Manga Sensei still going on. Like, imagine if Fuyumi married Izuku. Enji wants those perfect genes, or Kaminari. Give him some Endeavor training and see what he can do. Amber and Lisa are the only characters that are handicapped by their stats kits. Everyone else is fine. Oh, interesting. Orle was great because the two MCs go out in the boonies to get married. Oh, you know what? I think Akisora did this as well. Akisora did something similar, and the parents know exactly what's going on. 5 minutes equal 1 hour, right? Shit! What the heck? Hey, that's illegal. That was an illegal. That was illegal. No, that was not fair. No, Terry. No, we're doing 5 minutes. Also, didn't the sister disguise as a guy to hide from him? Oh, thanks, El. I'm not insightful with everything, man. We're just a bunch of people. Other people here have really good points as well, El. So thanks for being part of this, and I hope you enjoyed the general atmosphere in the comments. This is kind of how we talk most of the times. Which light novels are we talking about with the brother? We got 3. Edo Manga Sensei, the one with the fact that he writes about his character having young sisters, and the Edo Manga Sensei ripoff. I'm not too sure. I think we were changing between a bunch of them all at once. Okay. Oh, great. Great, El. Glad you enjoyed it. Do you think the Inko death is true? I don't think so. Matthew, someone else told me about this earlier in the day. I don't think so. She was at a grocery store. Oh, no worries, Leah. I'll have to see. Is it on Reddit? Is it a theory on Reddit? Reddit. Inko died. My hero. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's a thing. I think she's fine. I think it's more likely that Shigaraki targets Izuku's mother as opposed to her dying here. Anyway, we still got 3 minutes. And guys, now that Skelly's here, I do want to say, like, I do plan on eventually doing another writing stream, because I think it would be cool to, like, come up with world building stuff, and also, like, it'd be cool to come up with some new characters. Like, just think about character archetypes that we could all use in our various stories. I think I would love to do, like, one of those elevator pitch style stuff that Skelly enjoys, because again, I need a lot of new characters, and I think it'd be cool if we came together and we all gave our opinions on, like, harem characters maybe, or just in general battle shonen characters. I think it'd be a neat thing to do. Yes, writing. Okay, so Master Gray's into it as well. I know Master Gray's in. Well, yeah, Master Gray makes sense. Let's see. What if someone 1A had to switch class for a bit, like only to learn how to do more combos? Maybe, but that's assuming that we're going back to school. I heard because it was about a bike outside of a store. It's just a bike. How many people own bikes in Japan? Okay, yeah, it was surfer character while being confronted by Izuku's injury. I think his family will go into hiding. There is an easy way to figure this out, guys. Super easy way. Because Izuku and Bakugo and Shoto live in the same area. So let's just very quickly go into my Izuku My Hero Academia Wikia. Let's see. Where does he live? Birthplace. He's in the damn it, where is this thing? He lives, or he was born near Shizuoka Prefecture, and I don't think they moved. Kind of hard to tell. But that prefecture, from what I saw, that's not the trajectory that I think that I looked at this one time on the. I was looking this up one time. He was in Kyoto Prefecture. I don't think the prefecture that Izuku lives in is anywhere near where Higanto Makia passed through. So let me just very quickly look here. So I got the prefectures loaded up, and then I gotta figure out Jakku. So let me figure out, because that's Jakku Prefecture, maybe? I think it was Jakku. No, I forget which one. What was the name of the area where the mansion was? If anyone of you has it, please let me know. Anyway, let's see. It would serve her character well. I think his family will go into hiding, like Monoma Tetsu, Pony going to. That would be cool. Good night to you guys. Definitely see one of those kids being, yes, writing room. Okay. Well, it'll probably be next Tuesday then. Before you go, how's your novel going? The desert one? Still in revision process. Hopefully it'll go good. I just gotta do I gotta do like 6 more chapters, and then I think we'll be good to go. It's been good overall though, Master Grade, because I've been getting a lot of feedback in general from the writing style. So I am gonna just go back and continue just working on it. And a little sister character, since we're talking about it. Sure, that'd be great. If you want me to tell you, you thought she died because Maki run through 22. Okay, but a bike? Nah. The top 4 all live in the same area. The town isn't one of the 20 mentioned. Oh, okay. I'm aware. I was talking about another city. Okay. Even less reason why this should be a theory. How's your writing? Okay. Cool. All right, guys. So, gonna start saying the good nights here. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. So, let's put right now the writing stream. Let's say next Tuesday. And we'll come back on Tuesday and we'll do a bunch of fun stuff and we'll come up with cool characters. And then I will rip off all of you and you guys will all rip off everyone else. Because there's character archetypes. We can come up with random characters. But yeah, so good night to Lil Rad. Good night to Ray. And thanks everyone for the newcomers that arrived. Good night to Black Fox. Good night to Animamus, Joseph, Prower, White Despair, always happy to be here. White Despair, always happy to have you. And please, always bring cool ideas. And this goes to everyone. Everyone, don't be afraid to disagree with me. The best things come out of everyone disagrees because you guys usually have good points. So good night to Master Gray, Eden's, Terry, Miguel, Skelly, Black Fox. There's a lot of people. Well, whatever. Good night to everyone. Ending the stream. And Matthew and Gohan in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great night, everybody. And yes, I will